Shields up, Ironbreakers. How's everybody doing today on this fine Sunday afternoon? We are back. We're back in Portugal. I'm back in my regular setup. I'm back, baby. We are finally, on some steady friggin' internet. Now I'm trying to, get some stuff up in here. It's been absolutely chaotic as hell. This is just my life. Let me just very quickly get another thing that I want to get, because I'm still pulling up stuff that we're going to be talking about in today's stream. Let me just see if I can find this thing. Where was it? Where was it? What was the thing? It was like, oh, dude, we got to meet this guy. I mean, meet. I ran into him. I will actually. We need to add that one. That'll be an interesting story. Where is... Bro, there's been so many crazy things happening. I don't even know where the hell this is. Oh yeah, we met up with AJ. He was in there as well. There should be a short video that I put up in here that I wanted to show. Oh yeah, here it is. This is the one. This is the one. Perfect. This will be later as well. Now let me just see. What was the other stuff? Let me very quickly grab my topic list. I was actually writing things down. I'm kind of getting back into the mood of wanting to just write stuff down. I don't know. There's just something different about the vibe of writing something down. So let me see. This. Yep, I got videos for all of this. Then I don't have a video for this, but there's not really a whole lot to say. We can just bring this up. I think that there was something on Future Games Show for Hell Is Us, right? I think that was the thing. Hello, Ryu left Gamescom a day early. No, dude, I always leave on Saturday because what happens is, so there's a business area in Gamescom. That's where you do, whenever you're a content creator or a journalist or something doing that kind of work, that's where you do most of it. It's in a business area, and the business area closes at the end of Friday. So on Saturday, the only thing open are just the public booths. And if I try to do anything in the public booths, it's just massive lines. So usually by the time I get to Saturday, I'll already have seen everything that I want to see. So I didn't leave a day early. I left exactly when I always leave. Gamescom is so stressful to me. I guess I'm too old for this shit. There's a lot of people at Gamescom. Although last year I got to hang out with you guys a whole lot more because I could just hang out at the Capcom booth. I was just sitting there all day almost. But yeah, hear that? Our boy's a businessman. I'm not a businessman. It's just called the business area. In Gamescom lingo, it's called a B2B, business to business. But yeah, that's usually why I bail out on Saturday, and also because I'm a family man. I can't afford to be away for too long. So we will do this as well. Damn it, these mosquitoes, man. I'm telling you, the other day, I was recording a video. I think I swallowed one of the fuckers. It's out of nowhere, mosquito goes right into my mouth. Zero survival instinct. I think I might have swallowed one just now. It's insane. These friggin' gnats. God Monster Hunter Wilds having a blast on the road to Hunter rank 100. Good to hear, Last Emperor. Good to hear. Monster Hunter Wilds, I feel other than the performance, is actually in a really good spot. Did you go to the Honor of Kings World booth? I did. I didn't get to play it. I actually asked to play it. I was exchanging email. Dude, this mosquito, bro! Go away from me. I actually was in talks with one of the dudes that was doing marketing for them, because I was supposed to go there because I wanted to go play it, but I wasn't able to. Extra protein. Mosquitoes missed you. They're saying hi. I can assure you, I didn't miss them. Goddamn nasty ass mosquitoes. I have to go make another trap. Still wish Wild's early game was more challenging, but I guess we're past that. Yeah, we're kind of past that. That's not gonna happen. Let me see, what was the other one? I need to just grab a couple more videos, and then we're gonna get into the topics. So let's see. This thing.
Rated E.
And then, oh yeah. Oh damn, this has been out for a while. Isn't this like, I think this is like early access or something. Let's just look at this one. Talk about that. And what else? Oh yeah, this I have to talk about these two for sure. Oh, they actually have proper gameplay? Is it like commentated? Oh yeah, this is the demo that I did.
Research.
Carefully.
Perfect. This will do. This will do nicely. I wonder why. Oh yeah, I asked to capture this footage and they told me, yeah, you can do it over the shoulder. And I was like, what the I don't want to capture over the shoulder. What the fuck do you mean? I ain't doing that. What year is it capturing over the shoulder? What am I, Dark Side Phil? I ain't pointing no camera at a screen. That's crazy. I was like, can I get some capture? And they were like, yeah, sure. You can film it. Oh, look, another one. No, GameSpot had access to all the gameplay. Must be nice. Not that this one matters all that much, but we'll talk about it as well. They were pretty nice. Let's see. And then there is Resi, Enshrouded, and Rewild. There's is there? That's a good question. Oh, damn. Angry Scott's dad. Thank you very much for being grossly incandescent for 52 months. As a long beard, you giga Chad. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Jeff Young, thank you very much for upgrading your membership to Ironbreaker. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. And by the way, I gotta do the shout outs. I'm like slacking today. I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm still recovering. So my apologies, but we're gonna get right to it. Well, bam! Shout out to the Thanes, Pro Mag, Colin Lashore, Fulminus, Dan Pribernow, Mainstream, and Louise Rosa, who, by the way, donated during the Capcom live stream that we did, and I wasn't able to acknowledge it all that much. But thank you so much for the souls, brother, and thank you all for being grossly incandescent as Thanes. You absolute giga chads. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you so much. Any news on Where Winds Meet? I don't know if it was on the show. I wasn't able to see anything about that one. Who's even publishing that? Where Winds Meet? Let's see. Where Winds Meet. Oh, it's NetEase. Well, there you go. Do I need to say anything else? Do I need to say something else? Do I need to tell you why we didn't go see Where Winds Meet? I don't think this team likes me very much. I don't think I'd be able to do many things with them. But then again, maybe they shouldn't have corrupted one of my favorite games. So, you know, it is what it is. I didn't even try, to be honest. I didn't even try. I didn't even know that they were the ones publishing it. But yeah. We'll talk more about this picture. There's some history there. There's some history there. Let me see. So we got that. Let me go back to this. What do we got here? I need to swap this for later. Like that. It's over here. Looking good. And what else? Okay, so for Resi, we'll do that. And we do Pragmata and Nonimusha. And then Rewilders. Jenny, thank you very much for the souls. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're too kind. Appreciate it. Did you get to try out the demo for Resident Evil? Yes, I did. I played it for 30 minutes. As a matter of fact, you guys want to hear a funny story? So most of you here will know who Jono is, right? Jono, the Monster Hunter community manager. So I was playing Resident Evil, and I'm playing the demo. I'm recording it. I have gameplay. I'll show you guys a little bit of it. But I'm playing the demo. I'm recording it. I'm like trying to get through and trying to understand how everything works, whatnot. And there's a scene where there's like a jump scare, and you know there's like this body that falls through a door, and immediately after that, like a monster shows up, right? The big antagonistic creature that kind of like follows you around in Resi 9. And as the creature shows up, Jono is waiting behind me, and I don't know that Jono is behind me. So Jono's behind me, and he just like grabs my shoulders out of nowhere. I'm like, well, that's funny. That's funny shit. No, I'm not too much into horror. It was mostly one of those things where it's like, well, I'm gonna see Onimusha, I'm gonna see Pragmata. Resident Evil 9 is like right there. I'll go play that too, sure. But Jono coming in, giving me that 4D experience, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That was funny. What do I need still? Okay, I need have they announced this yet even? Oh yeah, here they've already teased it. Okay, perfect. So we do this.
Listen.
And I will be good to go. Yeah, this. So this one will be here. Guess I can put this one here. This one here. And now we should finally be good. Did you meet the PoE2 team? I didn't. They weren't there. At least as far as I'm aware, there was nobody there from Path of Exile 2. I went to the Path of Exile 2 booth, and there was like a spokesperson there, and she took my email, and I asked, hey, I'd love to like do a podcast with anyone from the GGG team, talk about Path of Exile 2, the design, all of that stuff. And, you know, I showed her my channel, told her how to reach me. I don't know if anything's going to come out of that. I'll be honest, I highly doubt it. So, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, I did make an effort to try, and I actually had to go back to that booth like twice or something like that to speak to the spokesperson. But, you know, it is what it is. Any Phantom Blade Zero news? I heard there's a demo. I mean, I may or may not have, like, I think it's about an hour's worth of gameplay for that. Let me see. Details. 1 hour and 24 minutes of gameplay, although I'm going to trim that down. This will be like separate videos that I'm going to work on. Today is going to be kind of like an overview and just like first impressions type of deal. Because with a lot of these games, I'm going to be going giga in depth and talking about. Did I try Metroid Prime 4? No. I tried reaching out to Nintendo, and they told me that usually they only work with accredited journalists, and because I'm not one of those, too bad. So, you know, basically in order to play Metroid Prime 4, I would have to sit in line, and I didn't have time to sit in line. I can wait. I don't think I can show you guys the actual schedule. I can't show you guys the actual schedule, but it was friggin' packed. Like it was packed. Yeah, I wanted to show you guys the schedule, but I can't because there's some stuff in here that I'm not allowed to talk about yet. So I can't show you the actual schedule of everything that I've seen, but I will tell you like everything that's on the schedule that I can talk about that I saw. Okay? How about Silk Song? That's another one of those. And to be honest, like I'd never even finished Hollow Knight. So it's kind of like I would want to do that before I do Silksong, so I wasn't overly worried about playing Silksong. What was the highlight for you personally? Which game stood out? I think that the 4 games that stood out the most probably be Phantom Blade Zero, Crimson Desert, Onimusha, Pragmata. Those are probably the 4 games that stood out the most. Those are kind of like the ones that I was giga hyped. I was also very hyped about a lot of other things that I've seen. Some of them are coming up on the channel pretty soon. Well, one of them specifically, Hell Is Us. I think that the next thing that we're doing on the channel is going to be Hell Is Us. Whenever the embargo for that lifts. I did get to talk with the devs about that. We will be talking about that. Please can tell Konami for the Master League mode to be released soon on the eFootball game. Yeah, sure. I'll get right on that, bro. I'm going to get right on that, okay? I'm going to go up to Konami and like, hey, listen. This person whose name I can't pronounce on YouTube said you need to add the Master League mode on eFootball right now, okay? But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be going over today. So hopefully you guys are ready for that. So starting things off, we're going to go to the very first thing. I can't believe. Oh, it's so funny, bro. I'm not a Konami employee. I don't even know anyone in Konami. I'm sorry, brother. I'm just joking. I can't do much. I can't help you. You'll tell it, okay? Yeah. Yeah, it's done. It'll be sorted tomorrow. Yeah, Chris Urban, I have like a gameplay playthrough of it on the channel. Also, hey, Yonko Kills. Did you do the PoE 2 boss rush? No, I didn't have time. Like I had very few gaps. To give you guys an idea, I only had like 30-minute gaps here and there, which is usually not even enough to go from one hall to the next. Because like, here's the thing. Let me just see. Do we have the Gamescom hall plan? Just so that I can show you guys a couple of things. This should be the hall plan right here, right? No? No. Damn it. I'll just... It'd be on images, right? Really? I asked for the hall plan. There it is. Can I please see the image? Dankeschön. Oh, this is perfect. Right here. This version of it. Yes. Very good. Das ist gut. So, this is Gamescom. This is Gamescom. To give you guys an idea, right? Most of the stuff that you are doing in Gamescom, you know, if you're going in to like do interviews or capture sessions or all of that, most of the stuff that you're doing takes place in this hall. Hall 4, which is kind of like the business section. Hall 2 and Hall 3 are also business, but these will usually be like less known games and stuff like that. Even though Hell Is Us was in Hall 2.1, and the Nacon team were super friendly because I didn't have an appointment for Hell Is Us, and they were just like, yeah, sure, you can come and you can watch and you can talk to the... I forget who was there. He was one of the devs of Hell Is Us that was there. I forget exactly what his role was on the team, but it was one of the devs that did me like a bit of a walkthrough, and we went through the open world section of Hell Is Us, which is kind of like where the demo ends. He was telling me about the design philosophy and all of that stuff, which is pretty cool. And he assured me that like the performance issues were going to be sorted out, which is good. Anything from Monster Hunter Stories 3? No. Monster Hunter Stories 3 was not on the show. His full name is Rurikhan Konami II. I sure am happy about the demo that is out, such as Trails in the Sky First Chapter Remake. Yeah, Hell Is Us is really, really good. I'm trying Hell Is Us and liking it quite a bit. Yeah, I liked it a lot as well. And apparently it's actually a very small team. But yeah, I'll have more to say when we talk about the Hell Is Us stuff, because there's quite a bit to talk about. Will Hell of Us get delayed because of Silsong? I don't think so. Because these are two completely different genres, so I don't think it would make sense. How's the travel this time around? Hope all was good. It was fine. There were no issues. The biggest issue was live streaming on day one, but we'll go through like the whole shebang. We'll talk about everything, but before that, I wanted to just kind of like show you guys the map here. And so the way that things work, to give you guys an idea, Hall 8, that's where Blizzard was. So it's not super important for us. The reason I even bring it up is because Preach was there. And I was trying to meet up with him. And at one point, I was right next to him, but he was casting. So I couldn't really like interrupt him or anything. We were supposed to meet up on Friday, but I think the Race to World First got delayed or something. So he wasn't available. So I ended up being right next to Mike, didn't even get to shake his hand, which kind of sucks. But yeah, that's why I know Blizzard was in Hall 8. Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion, which was the Marvelous booth, they were in Hall 7. Hall 6 is where Path of Exile 2 was, but also Phantom Blade 0 and Crimson Desert were in Hall 6. So Hall 6 was high in demand. In Hall 9, that's where I did the Capcom live stream. So Onimusha and Pragmata and all of that stuff was Hall 9. Hall 5, both 5.2 and 5.1, is basically like merch halls. So this is where you go if you want to find like some really specific merch for a video game or for a show or something like that. This is where you go if you want that. That's Hall 5. Hall 1, I don't even know what's in Hall 1, to be honest. I've never been there. Hall 4.2, 2.2, and 3.2, these are just like business halls. So usually the stuff in here is not going to be as hype looking as the other halls. Hall 10 is usually where more indie stuff is going to be. Hall 11, I don't even know what is in there. I've never been to Hall... Was I in Hall 11 at all? I don't think I was in Hall 11 at all. But Hall 10 is usually more indie stuff, but also like quirky controllers and things like this, right? Like your like special flight sticks or driving gear and all of that stuff, like, you know, controllers, they will be there. And, you know, that type of stuff is usually Hall 10. So indies, niche controller things, and others, some such, are going to be there. One of the things that was in Hall 10 was actually, let me just grab this. It was actually the Lords of the Fallen booth. Here it is. Which I went there on Friday just to see if they were doing anything, but it was just like, it's a tattoo parlor. So it's like, you can come in here and get a tattoo done. And I was like, I ain't doing that shit. I'm sorry, I don't do tattoos, man. I was like, what? I ain't doing that. Oh, crap, they actually replied to me. Oh my god, I didn't realize they replied to me. The official account replied, "We can't wait for you to play it. Go get a tat. Everyone's doing it." Nope, not doing that. Sorry. I didn't even notice because I've been so busy. That was cool. They replied. That's nice. Actually on the same day as well. This was probably shortly after I was there. This was shortly after I was on the booth because it was on the same day. And it was at 8 p.m. and I was around that booth at like 9. And so 9 would be 8 p.m. here. Because this was the day that I got in the earliest. Because I was just trying to see if I could check out the floor a little bit before it got real busy. But yeah, that's cool. You can't play it unless you get inked with their logo. They weren't doing their logo. They were doing like a tattoo of a character from the game, I think. Because they announced this on their podcast, so I knew that they were doing something with tattoos over there. But I'm interested, because like, look, I liked Lords of the Fallen, and this is before they fixed it. It had a lot of problems, but I still like the game. As a matter of fact, I remember talking to you guys about this how me and Wada played for so long, because we were like, we're doing everything. Me and Wada, we must have done like 6 or 7 runs of this game before it was fixed. Me and Wada were just having a really good time because of the way that they did co-op. So I'm just like, I'm hyped as hell for Lords of the Fallen 2. Yeah, it is too early for the demo. That's what I expected. They must have been those temporary tattoos, right? I don't know, bro. It looked pretty fucking legit because, like, you guys see behind here, there's this, for starters, this is a big, like, chunk, okay? This is not like a small little booth. This is like a chonker of a booth, okay? Because there are small booths. This is one of the chonker ones. And it's like on the other side of this panel, there was just like chairs and tattoo material. So it's like they were doing like legit tattoos. I don't think that these were temporary, but then again, I didn't ask. Because like I wasn't going to be able to sit there for like however long it takes to get a tattoo done. So I wasn't like overly concerned. I was just like roaming around and checking it out and stuff. Did you get one? No, I don't do tattoos. I don't do that. But yeah, we did see that. Was that the one? Yeah, that's the one that I wanted to show. Because like I was tweeting as I was seeing things. This Valor Mortis thing was hilarious. So I should actually tell you guys the Valor Mortis story when the time comes. So we'll keep this one here. Wait, where is the... Yeah, because it was before. This is the first thing. Yeah, met the game director. Yeah, we'll talk about all of that. It's friggin' crazy. Oh yeah, you guys were asking me about Phantom Blade. Look at that. Boom. Difficulty Hellwalker. Total time 1:17:38. Death count 15. 15 deaths was how I did in the demo. It's pretty fun. I got the whole shebang of gameplay for this one, so I'm gonna do like a full-on video for that as well. But we start over here. Blood of the Dawnwalker. So the blood of Dawnwalker is literally the first thing that I saw when I went to Gamescom. It was my first appointment, all of that good stuff. And so we're going to go over and watch some Blood of the Dawnwalker stuff, because now I have a lot more context. I feel like I know a lot more about the game, and I can give you guys some more context about what they are doing with this one, because I am really, really excited. Like I wasn't, you know, I'm like, yeah, sure, it's the team behind Witcher 3. I'm sure it's going to be fun, all of that. But then I started seeing the stuff that they were doing in the presentation that I got to watch, and this thing is crazy.
Hello everyone, my name is Konrad Tomaszkiewicz and I am game director on The Blood of Dawnwalker here at Rebel Wolves. The Blood of Dawnwalker is a dark fantasy action RPG set in 14th century Europe. It's an open-world, story-driven game which serves as the first chapter of our original saga.
For this project we created a new type of protagonist. You play as Cohen, a Dawnwalker. He is a human during the day with all of our human vulnerabilities. But for the night he transforms into a vampire, gaining supernatural powers. This creates a unique gameplay dynamic. We call it a dual gameplay loop, and I'm pretty sure the players will find it quite refreshing. Cohen's main goal in the game is to save his family, as they were captured by Brancis, a vampire lord that currently rules over the valley. He has only 30 days and nights to achieve this goal. And what happens if he runs out of time? Well, it surely doesn't end the game. His family may suffer some consequences, but we will let the players discover what exactly happens in this scenario.
Wait, are you Mihai?
I'm still surprised they showed this part. Are you Mihai? Because like Mihai is apparently a really important character, so I was kind of surprised that they would spoil this. I mean, they showed us this fight. I got to see this fight right here, but I'm surprised that they would spoil it to the general audience.
Move the time forward, and it's entirely up to you to decide how you want to spend this resource. You have to manage it and face the consequences.
There's the combat stuff here. We'll talk more about
Choices
that
and consequences in our game have 3 layers. The first is quite traditional, similar to other RPGs. You make choice and then deal with the consequences. The second layer takes into our dual gameplay loop. Day and night often presents different choices. And finally, Not making a choice is also a choice. You can simply choose not to act, and the world will respond in ways that are often hard to predict.
I think that this is one of the things that is going to be really hard to kind of sell people on, that you're going to have all of this depth. I mean, these guys did work on Witcher 3 though, so it is expected to have like a lot of choice and consequence and all of that kind of stuff. But the time mechanic is one of the things that I want to go a little bit deeper on, because I spoke about that in my video that I did at Gamescom. I kind of feel like YouTube nuked that video from orbit for some reason, so some of you guys might not have seen it. It is there. But we're going to go over the time mechanic once again today, and I'll be able to explore it a little bit better because now I don't have the constraints of being in a hotel room recording on a crummy little laptop.
I do realize that it may sound intimidating at first, but don't worry. First of all, you will always know upfront how much time given activity is going to take. And secondly, there is no need to rush, as exploration in our game doesn't consume time at all.
You have only one goal in front of you, and everything else is optional. We give you the pieces, but it's up to you how you put them together. The story follows your lead, wherever you take it.
It is even possible to storm Brancy's castle right away, but of course at this point it would be extremely difficult. So instead, we encourage you to explore the world, finish different quests, find allies, and level Cohen up to make the task at hand easier. Everything in our game stems from the duality of our protagonist, including the combat of course. During the day, when he is a human, he is able to fight with a sword and use dark magic, which is carved on his body as runes.
We are drawing from various combat archetypes and creating something new. We built responsive directional combat that is intuitive, immersive and fluid. It's easy to learn and fun to master.
And at night, after he turns into a vampire, he becomes faster and stronger, gaining an ability to fight with his claws and teeth, and a few other vampiric powers.
Cohen has different skills at his disposal, which not only affects the combat, but also the way how he explores the open world. Plane Shift is one of his vampiric abilities that allows him to...
check this out. This is the traversal portion of it. He's going to just like straight up walk on that wall.
Break the law of gravity and walk on the walls and ceilings.
It's like straight
Another
up.
example is Shadow Step, which allows Cohen to teleport on short distances. Thanks to these abilities, we can find unique ways to complete the quest. We are really grateful for your feedback, and we can't wait for 2026 when The Blood of Dawnwalker will release on PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S.
So they also have a gameplay showcase, which actually shows a lot of the gameplay, and this is where I'm going to give you guys as much details as I can possibly remember. Okay, so for those of you that are not familiar, Rebel Wolves, this has a lot of the same people that worked on The Witcher 3. So that's just kind of like for those of you that don't know about this team. Now we're going to be jumping into gameplay. Only sword and fist? No, I think that there are more weapons besides sword and fist.
Hello, my name is Daniel Sadowski and I'm the design director at Rebel Wolves.
So this is like your open world section. You can kind of like go pretty much anywhere. That's usually the idea.
I'd like to welcome you to
the gameplay that I watched. Didn't actually. It just kind of like focuses on the same places that you're going to go to on this demo. This was a hands-off gameplay. We didn't actually get to play the game. I saw somebody else play it. They were sitting right next to me.
The Blood of Dawnwalker.
Somebody else being one of the developers.
Summer gameplay video.
So, one of the first things, let's take a look at everything here. We have our stamina gauge right here at the bottom, the yellow one. Red one is the health gauge, white one, EXP gauge. Then over here you have your standard compass that tells you your objectives, all of that stuff that you're used to from these kind of games. And then you have this thing up here, which is one of the most important things in this game, and it is really cool. So you see how there's pips on this thing. There's 8 pips total. That is the amount of time you have in the day. So this is not counted in hours. This is not counted in, you know, in any type of it's like, it's just these pips, okay? There's 8 pips that you have during the day, and then it switches to night, and then you have 8 pips during the night. Now, these only advance when you perform certain actions and the game tells you, like there's going to be an hourglass symbol, and the game will tell you like, oh, this is going to cost you like 1 hourglass symbol. That means it will advance the time by 1. Certain actions will advance the time by more than 1. And I'm going to predict, I didn't see this, but I'm going to predict that at some points you will have certain quests that will likely have unforeseen consequences, and those will fast forward time to nighttime or something like that. I'm not sure if that is the case or not, but that would be what I would expect. Like you're doing something, all of a sudden the game goes like, aha, you've activated my trap card. Boom. Even though developers said that they want to make sure that you know when you're spending time, I do predict that at some point they're going to take a little bit of agency away from you. But I could be wrong with that. All of the examples that I saw in the gameplay, they always told you, oh, if you perform this action, that is going to cost you like 1 pip or 2 pips or whatever. And then the thing is, doing quests at day and doing quests at night is very, very different. Because, for instance, this quest that we're going to be doing, I think they're going to show both modes in this gameplay. But the quest we're going to be doing, if you do it during the day, you go into the cathedral, you talk to the priests, and then the priests give you like a sub-quest to go do something else. But if you do it at nighttime, you're going to go in from the rafters, you're going to go in from the top, and there's going to be some shady stuff happening in the church. It's going to be very different. But the thing is, there's more to this than just that. Because if you're doing it at night, you're going to be doing it as a vampire, and you have access to your vampiric powers. If you do it during the day, you're going to be doing it as a human, and you have access to dark magic. Because vampires get access to vampiric powers, but you need to be a human to do dark magic. So at night, you can't do dark magic. You can only do like vampire shenanigans, like the shadow step thing and some other vampire crazy abilities and biting people and all that stuff. And then during the day, you have a different kind of magic to do. So not only the quests themselves are different, but even your own character is going to play differently because of the abilities that you have access to during day versus during night. And then on top of that, because some certain quests converge into a certain point, like the one where you meet the Mihai character that we saw earlier, both quests will converge into that fight. And if you fight him at night, he's going to be significantly more powerful than if you were to fight him during the day.
Our game is a story-driven, open-world dark fantasy RPG set in medieval Europe. The game is currently in pre-beta stage, and what we are going to show you is just a part of one of the mid-game quests. It's a really cool story involving legend.
I imagine some quests are locked to day or night. I don't think so. I think that that's the point. I think that that is going to be the point. You can do them in any way that you want. Just do remember that as time advances, at a certain point, you're going to, oh, I wanted to do this whole quest at day, but because of the actions that I performed, it is now night. So that's going to be something that you're going to have to balance. Still in pre-beta, right? Yeah. This is only coming out in like 2026, so there's plenty more.
House. But today, we'll focus on showcasing our gameplay systems. We're starting on the outskirts of Svatro, the game's largest city and the capital of Vale Sangora. From here, we could head anywhere the eye can...
Which one do you think is more promising, this one or Vampire Bloodlines? I don't know. Everybody that saw Bloodlines was really excited about it. I didn't get to see Bloodlines. Who publishes Bloodlines? It's called Bloodlines 2, right? Paradox Interactive. Did I reach out to them? I forget if I reached out to them. But I didn't get to see this one. So I don't know which one of the two is more promising. This one is very promising, that much I can say.
Explore ancient ruins or sabotage vampire blood transports. But it's not just about where or when you go. It's also about how you approach the main quest and shape the story, making each playthrough uniquely your own. For now, we're following the road. Cohen is on his way to the city's cathedral, chasing leads about a powerful weapon said to be hidden in its crypts. But first, we'll have to deal with some bandits who camped out by the main road. Traveling through Vale Sangora is never boring. The world is dense with quests, random encounters, and locations steep in lore.
Okay, so this right here is the combat. And the combat has directional mechanics to it, as well as this skill system that lets you use some special skills that you do. So I don't know exactly, because I wasn't able to entirely understand like how this works, but in some of these, you'll notice that there'll be certain portions that are going to be grayed out. So like, for instance, sometimes this side will be grayed out, which I guess means if you attack from this side, the enemy's going to parry. So that leaves you 3 options to attack from. And you have to use directional combat both offensively as well as defensively. Because if you notice, this is telling you these are all the directions you can attack right now because the enemy's not going to block. But the enemy's coming in with an attack, and they're instantly telling you you have to parry towards the right. So you have to block in the right direction in order to get the block off. Now, you can also do omnidirectional blocking. So you can just block from any direction that the attack is coming. But that consumes stamina, which is this. So eventually they'll get to like guard break you and have their way with you. Whereas if you parry directionally, what's going to happen is you regain stamina. I don't know if it works the same way with offensive attacks and all of that, but I know that for the blocking, they specifically said in the presentation that if you block, you will be able to regain stamina if you block in the right direction.
This will be a great opportunity to show you our combat system. Our goal was to make the player...
So see how in this one, it's got like this one grayed out, which probably means like, nope, if you attack from this direction, bro's going to block. And at the same time, this dude's coming in with a swing, so you're going to have to parry towards the right. Or you can just do omni-blocking. So in here, he blocked correctly because he regained stamina. Then he blocked again properly because he regained stamina again.
Master.
And now he's going to use one of the skills that is available to him. Now, this is a dark magic skill. And then these two, I know that one of them is Artery Strike, which I think it's like a special attack. They used it to...
Closely observes his...
Oh yeah, so the first one is Acrid Dust. So you just throw dust from the ground
enemies.
At bro's face.
We'll begin this fight by using...
Boom.
Acrid Dust
so now
to
he's
stun
blind.
one of the enemies. Now, when you attack, you choose one of 4 directions. Up, down, left or right, in order to hit the opponent where he's unable to parry.
So can we do quick ability and not need to open the wheel? I believe so. I remember the person doing the presentation, she said something about we will add quick slots. I don't know if they're available in the current version of the game, but they did mention that they would add quick slots for both special attacks as well as for food and stuff and all of that. I cast Pocket Sand.
And similarly, when defending, you have to take note of the enemy's intent and the direction.
And by the way, I was also told that if you just want to play it more arcadey, light attack, strong attack type, you can do that, but I think you need to lower the difficulty or something like that. So, you know, if you go higher on the difficulty, then you definitely want to do directional combat, but if you're not too inclined to deal with that stuff, you can just lower the difficulty and hack away.
On the left side of the screen, just above Cohen's health, you have activation.
And by the way, the animation, some of you guys might be going like, this animation's a little bit, I don't know. They said that all of those are already being reworked. It's just, you know, for the purpose of this demo, they are the way that they are. But the animations are going to be much improved.
Charges that will be filled in with each successful attack, block, and parry. Once they are full, you can use one of the active abilities.
So the active abilities, so these 2 slots, every successful block, hit, and parry, you will gain the energy to do these.
Which allow you to take a more tactical approach to fighting. We started the fight by throwing some acrid dust. And now let's cast Burning Blood. It's a hex which boils the enemy's blood and burns their skin, dealing physical...
Also listen to the music in the background. I was like, bro, the music of this game is just on point. I love it.
...damage over time.
Dismemberment right there. That's an arm chopped off. Visa and MasterCard are not going to be happy about that one.
Alright, time to finish this fight. Let's use the final activation charge to cast the artery attack, which actually...
Look at, did you see the beautiful head spin?
Opponent.
You guys think that one was consensual? You guys think that, I don't know. That didn't seem very consensual to me. What do you guys think? Is this old footage? This is
Our
like a
hero
month old
quickly
or something.
dispatched the bandits, so let's loot a few items they've left behind and open the inventory. First of all, let's replenish our health by eating something, and then take a closer look at this cool-looking weapon we just picked up.
The chopper.
It has better stats
Get to the
than
chopper.
our current weapon, so let's equip it right now. We've also leveled up, so let's use this opportunity.
There's 4 skill trees that you're gonna have access to. This one is just for active abilities. This one's for human perks, which will include like any dark magic type of stuff. This one's for shared perks, so these will be perks that can be used both in human form as well as in Vrakiri form, I guess, which is vampire form. But basically, the stuff in this tree is only for daytime, which is why it even has the daytime symbol, the sun. The stuff in this tree is only for nighttime, which is for vampire mode. The stuff in this tree available during both times, and then there's another tree just for active abilities that you get to use. And by the way, even though in the gameplay here, I think that they show Cohen using, his fangs when he's in vampire mode, you can also use sword if you are in vampire mode.
To spend the newly acquired skill point in one of Cohen's skill trees. The skills in the Blood of Dawnwalker are divided into 3 trees. One for human, one for vampire, and one shared between the two. We also have an active abilities panel. We can use it to unlock additional abilities to use during combat. Note that during the day, the health bar is not regenerating. You need to find consumables like the one we've just eaten. The hexes we've just used also consume some of Cohen's health. Be aware of that. The way our magic system works, there's always a price to pay for manipulating reality. But we can make it sting a bit less. Let's level up the Frugal Witchcraft skill, so next time we'll cast a hex, it'll consume fewer of Cohen's health points. Now that we've wrapped up the encounter with the bandits, we can be on our way to get inside the city. Right now, Cohen hasn't done enough to ruffle the Vampire Lord's feathers, so the gods will just wave us through. But the more damage you cause, the more suspicious and aggressive they'll become. So when you play the game yourself, you'll have to decide whether you want to challenge the vampires openly, or lay low until you're ready to strike and surprise them.
That's the other thing. So the vampires actually rule this place, and this is explained in that CGI cinematic that they do, because the vampires come in and they, give crap to the guards, telling them like, you guys are just like killing people way too indiscriminately. You're just ruining a resource that is very precious to us, which is the blood. So vampires took over, and one of the things that the lady actually said is the way that things work under vampire rule is people actually go to these blood masses to like donate blood, and in return, the vampires will like cure them of all of their ailments and stuff like that because they have the power to do that stuff. So people willingly submit to vampires because 1, vampires are way more powerful. 2, vampires can heal them, but in return, they just give their blood freely. So vampires can just have an endless supply of blood.
Bigger than I remembered, and it's grander than before. They're putting
Yeah,
in
they're
stained
probably
glass.
playing on a
But
controller.
Kniaz doesn't deny the old fetish.
Out of my face.
This is the rich district of the city, Silberkreis. There's also Altenmarkt, Neustadt, and the Middens. Each of the boroughs has its own feel and character.
I'm very concerned about the performance due to the fact that I think this is Unreal Engine, right? If I'm not mistaken. And that's the thing, like most of the games that I saw this year at Gamescom, they're Unreal Engine, which is very concerning. Unreal Engine 5 specifically. Blood of Dawnwalker engine. Yep, UE5. Yeah.
Out of here. It's just...
Let's hope they can optimize it properly. Maybe they'll be one of the few studios that is able to do so. I'm not holding my breath.
Looming high over the city is Brensis's castle, Greifberg. He took it over when he slaughtered the human ruler of the valley, Cinder, as shown in the trailer we shared with you earlier in January this year. In order to complete the main quest and save your family, you'll have to storm the castle, alone or with help of friendly NPCs. We could do it right now if we wanted, but it would be super challenging.
No more drink for you, my friend. Go home.
Oh, let me. I just want to. Oh, let me in.
You made a mess, and it's not that kind of inn.
Let's check the map. The cathedral is really close. There's plenty of other places to see
Lots
and
of
things
stuff
to
to
do
do.
here. A couple of inns, a medic, a blacksmith, an armorer, and other merchants. You can see that not only the vampires came out of the shadows. This creature on the right is called an Uriash. Look around, especially at night, and you'll learn humans have lots to fear, not just the vampires.
Vampires are running a racket scheme in here.
And here we can see guards pounding on some poor guy's doors.
What is it about?
Singing songs that mocked him and the faith.
Who told you this nonsense? Was it Livia?
It's just one of many different community scenes we're implementing in the game. Watch them closely when you play, as they might point you to new quests and hidden treasures, or signal changes in the game's world.
And by the way, another thing that is very important for people to understand is that even though time is like a very precious resource, it only ever advances, as I mentioned earlier, when you are doing quest actions that tell you that the time is advancing. So what does that mean? Right now, you'd be free to go and explore anywhere you want in the world. Just like go out, do whatever the hell, explore the map, whatever. And there won't be like a day-night cycle advancing time. So there's not a day-night cycle to this game, so to speak, until you advance time by performing certain actions and quests.
Humbly beg of thee.
I humbly...
Ouch!
I don't want to say it, Mum.
It's a prayer. It's what we have to say. Go on.
I humbly beg of thee, protect me and
Thou was sent forth.
Okay, we are at the cathedral gates. Again, since Cohen isn't yet wanted by the vampire regime, and it's daytime, we can simply walk inside.
The baptism of a newborn is a solemn moment, doubly so. A new life joins our flock, bringing happiness to its parents and to the congregation. Natus ex sanguine est, alitur sanguine, et in sanguine morietur. Ego te baptizo in nomine Dei. Amen. Don't I know you from somewhere, young man? Laslia, maybe?
So some of the decisions that you make are going to be timed. Not saying anything is a decision in and of itself. So I don't think it just automatically again, I don't know if it does or not, but I think that it basically, it's like your character just stays silent and says nothing, and that's kind of like a decision in and of itself. But these dialogue choices, like the dude said earlier, are going to have 3 layers of, decisions, depending on whether or not you do them at day or at night. You're going to get whatever consequence happens from making your decision, or the consequence of not making a decision.
I'm sorry, but you must be mistaken.
Am I? Perhaps. Perhaps. My memory isn't what it used to be. Come with me. I'll take your confession.
See, if you notice here on this dialogue, you can choose. So if you say there's no need, that's fine. If you say very well, that will use one of your time slots. So that will advance time forward by 1 pip because it's got the hourglass symbol. So keep that in mind. But you might get more information about the quest that you're trying to do. So it's something that you then need to wage based on whether or not you want to spend that time.
Thank you, but I have no need for confession.
Ah, so you deem your conscience clear?
I wouldn't go that far. But I'm sure you're a busy man, Father. So while I appreciate the offer, I feel that my soul shouldn't be your priority.
I won't press the matter. You are quite correct. I have many other duties to attend to. But please remember that in order to be saved, we all need to repent. Myself included. I hope we can speak again soon. Good day to you, Cohen.
Interesting, we never said our name to the priest.
What we saw right here was just one of many cutscenes we recorded for the game, which smoothly transitioned into a dialogue scene. We use cutscenes to highlight key scenes or showcase interesting bits of lore. Like this blood baptism. Creepy, isn't it? The core feature of the Blood of Dawnwalker is the dual gameplay loop. Remember, Cohen may be a human during the day, but he turns into a vampire at night and has a different set of skills at his disposal. And this is just one variable that affects our quests. Depending on when you tackle a particular quest, what choices you've made earlier, whom you befriended, or whom you've angered, your gameplay and story experience will be very, very different. So each quest is a complex structure with multiple possible paths leading to the end goal.
He's not a straight vampire fisherman, he's kind of like Blade, who is the Dawnwalker. There's probably some type of interference during the ritual for him becoming a vampire, so he's able to be a human during the day and he's only vampire during night. And during the day, he's also as vulnerable as a regular human, which is important to keep in mind.
We maximize players' freedom and agency, offering you a narrative sandbox to play in. I wonder what secrets may be concealed up there, just beyond Cohen's reach. And how do we get there? It's impossible to do during the day, but come night, it's an entirely different story. Let us explain what we mean by taking our current quest as an example. During the day, we got inside the cathedral without any problems, since it's open for all to see and Cohen doesn't yet stand out from the crowd. The scaffolds, though, are outside of his reach. But climbing them won't be a problem for the vampire, who has many more exploration abilities at his disposal. Bear in mind, Cohen has not completed the quest yet. What's more, there are still a few clues to be found in order to solve this story. It's worth mentioning that narrative sandbox also means that we may completely abandon this quest and follow a different path to defeat Brensis. For today, we're focusing...
So you only have mobility powers at night, your day magic is only combat or utility, I guess. There's a specific day magic that they don't show here that we got to see, which is Compel Dead. And this is... I thought it was interesting because I figured this would be something that a vampire would be able to do, right? I figured that a vampire would be able to like do this thing where he kind of like raise the dead, but like no, it's actually a dark magic that you can only do as a human. And so what Compel Dead does is he goes up to a corpse of somebody and he kind of like reanimates them and they look like really like all fucked up, but he reanimates them and then he can ask them questions. But the thing is, there'll be magical things that you'll pick up along the way as you are playing through the game. And sometimes you can use some of those magical things that you picked up in these Compel Dead scenarios, and that will yield more information. So you'll be able to extract more information from the dead person. which is really messed up kind of like look and scene when you actually see it in motion, which they don't show here. I don't know if there's public gameplay of that mechanic at all, but that's something that you can only ever do as a human. But yeah, you can also use some of the human magic during a fight. And yeah, I think there's also vampire magic that you can use in combat, but stuff like shadow step, going up walls, and all of that stuff, you can only do in vampire form.
On the gameplay part. So let's see how we could tackle this particular quest during the night. We're starting right after dusk as a vampire on the rooftops of Svatro. Right now we have 22 days left to complete this goal. This counter is always displayed and you will be warned each time it's pushed forward. So you have to be aware of the time, and it's more of a resource you'll be spending than a racing clock. As a vampire, you'll see and experience the world from a different perspective. You can travel quickly and easily access places beyond the reach of regular humans. Let us show you what we mean.
Yeah, like the shadow step thing actually doesn't consume anything. You can just do it. Like, look.
Is Shadow Step.
I mean, it
a
uses
unique
stamina or
vampiric
whatever,
ability, allowing Cohen to jump to almost any place within his reach. Now, let's take a good look around using the focus mode.
Witcher sense. What?
This ability highlights objects of interest and loot.
What do you
there's
mean?
Something right here.
What do you mean Witcher sense? What?
This time it's just some items to grab, but on other occasions, who knows? You might come across a hidden quest.
Trickter, no, we didn't get to play. It was a hands-off presentation where we got to see for Blood of the Dawnwalker.
Looks like our health is quite low. This is because, as a vampire, your health bar also represents your hunger level, and you start each night thirsting for blood. Remember, you have to quench this appetite in order to make full use of your vampire abilities, and rein in your monstrous nature around NPCs. Otherwise, you may end up draining someone important, which may lead to unpredictable consequences.
That would be a shame.
We'd better feed then. Maybe on someone who is standing all alone. Like this drunkard.
Brent's is stupid. Fuck, suck the blood straight from my cock.
Let's grab him and use Voracious Bite ability. Unless you lose control due to hunger, you get to decide how much blood to drink. You can drain just a bit and knock your victim unconscious, or go all the way and kill them. And if you're adamant you don't want to hurt
Delicious.
innocent humans, you can drink from animals and some other creatures. Finally, we are at the cathedral, but it seems to be closed for the night, and the entrance gate is well guarded. Let's find another way in.
I love the music. It's so good. I love how he's walking through town like with blood in his face. This is like perfectly normal.
Shadow
even worry
Step
about
is
it.
not the only vampiric ability you're gonna learn during your playthrough. Cohen
Yo,
can also
Q,
use
what's up?
plane shift to scale walls and even ceilings smoothly.
Smoothly.
This will allow us to explore every nook and cranny of the cathedral.
So, this is one of the things that we got to see, except in here they're going to do it differently than the version that I saw. And the version that I saw, they actually use this investigation system that you get, where you can kind of like look at books and stuff that's on walls. I think they actually show it a little bit.
Quiet.
Yeah, when they look, I think they look at one of the books, right?
Where's Xanthe? What the hell is she doing here?
Like, you see these little spots? This is the investigation system, so you can kind of like look at these spots and you can get additional information. And depending on how thorough you are at using this system, you may be able to get like bonus objectives on your quests that may lead you to different outcomes of said quest. And certain quests will actually require you to at least learn a little bit more in order to figure out what to do with them, but you have this system that kind of does it. There was also a puzzle that they had wherein you were supposed to find like a gravesite, a specific gravesite, to go inside into a crypt or whatever. And it said like, oh, this is the, in order to find the correct passage, you need the symbol of Saint Mackay or whatever. And that is something that you can find in a fresco on top of this cathedral. So if you do the quest and you like explore everything, it'll be easier for you to find the thing. Otherwise, it will be harder.
What is she doing? Is that a ritual for the blood gods? They're covering up the old paintings. Why? One of the workers must have left it. Seems that the cathedral complex is quite big. The main building, cloisters, inner courtyard. The entrance to the crypt could be anywhere. Won't get anything done just standing around. Still.
This was a scene investigation, a mechanic we used to zoom in on and showcase key clues. This time we had a chance to learn more about the vampire's plans. Looks like they're keen to cover up the old frescoes, so that's something we could take a look at. This way we could learn more about the cathedral's past. Looks like we aren't alone here. Underneath us there's a group of blood guards, soldiers hooked up on vampire blood, which makes them stronger, and one of Brances's vampire allies. It's Xanthi, the oldest vampire in Vale Sangora, and quite a powerful lady. Let's descend and check what's going on.
Don't think I don't see you skulking in the shadows. Come out! You're interfering with my task. Who are you?
It doesn't matter.
Very well. I don't have time for interruptions. Let us dispose of him. Quickly!
So now you can fight with your hands because you're a vampire.
Cohen is using his claws to attack when in vampire form. Blood guards are dual.
You can still use your
opponents.
sword if you
Their
want.
attacks are pretty strong. Of course, even when fighting with claws, combat is still directional. Don't worry, Cohen can still use his sword as a vampire.
Yeah. Damn, he's fast.
Only after defeating all three of the blood guards, Xanthi deems Cohen worthy of a challenge, and she descends to face him. She uses her blood control powers to cast a multitude of attacks, like her blood whips, that hit Cohen from left and right. Xanthi is protected by a powerful vampire ability. Once her stamina runs out, Cohen will have an opportunity to strike and deal some damage. But be careful, cause Xanthi is quick to counterattack and she will also try to restore her blood. Meanwhile, look at the indicator just below her health and stamina. It's a timer for the boiling blood skill that you've seen in the CGI trailer. So, if we don't hurry, the timer goes down to 0 and Cohen will eventually explode. And we're dead. Remember, we were only mid-game here, and Xanthi is one of the game's most punishing enemies. Defeating her right here and right now is very much possible, but it would be hellishly difficult. A fun challenge for hardcore players. Otherwise, we could load the game and explore the cathedral without drawing her attention. Or try to get to her while she's not surrounded by bodyguards. Xanthi, like all other vampire allies, has her own questline. Explore it, and you can learn more about her past, motivations, and maybe even try to reason with her. What you do is entirely up to you. Remember, our design principle is the narrative sandbox. There is no difference between main quests and side quests. There's just different stories that you weave together into your own unique adventure. But that's coming in 2026. For now, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this gameplay video presentation. We've just shown you a tiny glimpse of the Blood of Dawnwalker. There's definitely more to come in the coming months, so stay tuned for any updates being posted on our social media profiles. Goodbye.
So the presentation that I saw actually had like different outcomes to that quest. Rather than fight her, they actually go and, you know, do a different thing that eventually leads up to a crypt, and there's like boss fights along the way. A couple of things that they don't show here is that in some of the boss fights, besides just doing directional blocking and directional attacking and all of that stuff, in some of them, they'll be able to do like special attacks that you actually can't block and you have to dodge. So that's one of the mechanics. At least that's what I think it is, because there's like a different icon when the monster is attacking. It's got like a red skull. I think I showed this in the other video that I've done of this, so you guys can check that out if you are curious. The visuals from the version of the game that I saw being played in front of me, they looked really good. I do have performance concerns because of the fact that it is Unreal Engine 5, but overall, just like the concept of the time mechanic, the way that they're doing time, which is even represented in the logo here, you can see nighttime, daytime, which is like their dual gameplay loop or whatever they're calling it, is just, I just think that there's a lot of potential for that. Whether I do certain quests during day or certain quests during night and a different player does different quests, like just the way in which you can evolve and play the game is going to be very different depending on player to player. It is also very ambitious, and I'm going to be very curious to see how well they deliver on that, because that's the whole thing, right? It needs to be different depending on who plays it, but it's looking really good, really promising. Like I said, it was the first thing I saw when I was at Gamescom, and I thought it looked amazing. Like, I was already kind of like on board to play Blood of Dawn. I was like, I mean, sure, it's one of the games that's from the guys who made Witcher 3, even though I never finished Witcher, but it's like if they, you know, touch up on the combat and it feels a little bit more rewarding, cooler, I'd definitely be down for that. So I'm super interested. We'll see how it pans out. But after seeing the presentation, I was like, oh, I'm way more into this than I thought. They didn't talk about what the length of a playthrough is going to be, so we'll see. But this particular section of the stream is going to become its own video on the channel, so I'm just going to do a quick outro here. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification icon, all that jazz. See you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out. And now the stream continues, but if you guys give me just like a quick second here, I need to take a call. I'll be right back. So that was actually the parent of a kid that is kind of like spending the day with us. He's a friend of my kid. So he's just like checking in, making sure that everything's okay with his kid. My wife actually took them over to my parents' place. So nobody's here and I'm all alone and I get to do my streams. But yeah. So this one is looking really good. And this is going to be, this was probably the longest presentation that I had for the stream today. Let me go over my schedule here real quick to see what was the next thing that I saw, but I have a pretty good idea of what it was. Yeah, so after Blood of the Dawnwalker, we saw this this little game, which is probably one of the best games that was on show. I'm going to do a dedicated video for this one. So I'll just show you guys a little bit of the gameplay here. But this game, absolute fucking cinema, okay? The devs working on this. This is right up my alley. I think I have like a big set of notes that I can talk about for this one, right? Because I took a bunch of notes. Yeah. So this is kind of like... I would hesitate to call it a Souls-like because it channels almost Devil May Cry vibes. But yeah, it is Phantom Blade. I think in the beginning we have the tutorial section, which is actually really good for us to go through because it shows you like all of the mechanics. So you have blocking, you have parrying, which is just like last second blocking. You have perfect dodging, which I think is R1 on this game, if I remember correctly. And then you have combos. As you can see, we got like some 3 strong attack combos. Then we have like light, strong. You have a dodge, which like I said, it is R1 to dodge here. You can swap between weapons, which is what I did there, by the way. We're currently using dual blades. You can use the upper item, the lower item. These are items that you can equip on your inventory. I think I do show the inventory at some point. And you also have 2 special weapons. I mean, I call them special weapons. I think that the director of the game called them secondary weapons. And these have limited uses. So these are almost like magic in Souls game. You guys actually can't see them because my face is on top of all this. So see down here, these are your normal weapons and these are your secondary weapons. Can't find it on Steam. Is it PS5 exclusive? I think they're releasing on Steam. I don't know if it's been officially confirmed or not, but I'm like 90% sure it's not going to be an exclusive, but I actually don't know. If it's only on PlayStation, I'm gonna play it on PlayStation. The footage you guys are watching was on a PlayStation 5 Pro. Look at the animation on this axe. It is so gorgeous. I forget if this axe was in last year's gameplay. This is me playing, by the way. This is not just like B-roll or anything like that. I played this demo. It says PS5 and Windows. Yeah, it's likely going to be on Steam. I don't think it will be on Windows Store because that wouldn't make sense. Look at that. I love this axe. Look at this. Chonk, chonk, chonk. It's like a true charge slash, that one. Enemies in this game is no joke. Actually, I played it in Hellwalker mode, but apparently Hellwalker only it only unlocks after you play through the... Yeah, here it is. See, if you choose Hellwalker, he who defies death strides confidently into hell, the extreme mode where every enemy is a tough piece of work and they have new moves you've never seen before. The final release, this mode will only be unlocked after you've beaten the game at least once in Game Changer mode, which I'm like, kind of feel like you should just have Hellwalker from the get-go because it didn't feel like it was super hard. But then again, it could be like nerfed because it's on the show floor, although why would you nerf it on the show floor if you have multiple difficulties on the show floor? So maybe it isn't nerfed. I don't know. But it didn't feel like it was impossibly hard. So the appointment was like 90 minutes, and I finished the demo with 15 minutes left over. I like this more than Wu Chang's take on Chinese martial arts. This one is way more fluid. So here I'm going through some of the weapons. I was choosing which weapons I want to use. The weapons that I really liked from this demo are the chakrams. Those are really cool. And I also use this jagged steel curved sword. This one's really good, although I don't think that one's my favorite. Probably the great sword I like more than the jagged steel one, because the great sword appears to like power up through parries and stuff like that, and I was doing that all the time. Like, look at this. I love the animations on this though. They're so gorgeous. It's so polished. It has to be one of the most polished games I've played on a show floor. It is legit crazy. Like, look at that. Doing like perfect parries here all over the place. Bang, bang, bang. I love the exchange of blows. I was trying out some weapons that I hadn't seen before, so like the friggin' lion head. There's just like big AoEs. You just burn that guy to death. Very satisfying. So another thing that you guys got to keep in mind is that in this game, see how I ran out of stamina there? You're meant to swap weapons. So before I ran out of stamina here, I should have swapped weapons, because then I would have had full stamina. Like you see, I ran out of stamina. Oh wait, and here we're still like, we're actually chopping him dead. But like previously we had run out of stamina. Was it here? Yeah, here's when I ran out of stamina, right? Going through, doing all the things. Boom, no stamina. Should have swapped weapons. When you swap weapons, then you get your stamina back. So like Neo stance swapping, kinda. I was saying it's kind of like Neo, whatchamacallit, key pulsing. No, wait, was that a different game? Yeah, no, the key pulsing thing is in Hell Is Us. Sorry, there's too many games that I've done. And here you just swap weapons. I love these animations. Look at this. So, one of the reasons why I wouldn't necessarily call this a Souls-like, I don't know if this was just for the demo, but enemies don't respawn. Now, I don't know if they don't respawn ever, or if they don't respawn when you're doing the level. Because, like, apparently this is an optional level that you can basically miss. You can completely miss out on this whole level and not do it. You're not allowed to go through here because it's like a demo limitation thing. But this is an optional level that you may not even do in the final game. They said that like if you go through one run, you're probably only going to do like 30% or something like that. Can I replay it? Replay what? Yeah, here I was trying to like learn how to do backstabs and stuff like that. And then there's like some boss fights. I think that in this video, I spent a long time fighting the boss. I'm not going to show you guys everything because like I said, I'm going to do a dedicated video for this game where I'll do commentary over all of this gameplay. I'm going to edit it as well because I'm going to do some death montage, but it is so satisfying. Like, I'm telling you, the gameplay doesn't really do it justice because it just feels so smooth when you are playing it. It is actually insane how smoothly this feels, even though I was kind of fumbling the controls there. But this feels so smooth when you're playing it. Because, like, you know how sometimes you see some games and it's got, like, really fast, frantic action, but then you try playing and you're like, oh, this is hard as fuck to do any of these things. In this game, stuff just like flows. It is so smooth.
Did you see how they have changed?
It does have bonfires. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find one. So there's one right before the boss. So I should be seeing one. It's these things. And there's strands. I was just looking over this thing here because I was like, oh yeah, you need the big beefy weapon to break through this. And I was checking out if this guy was speaking or whatever. But yeah, this is one of the bells. See, and this is what acts as a bonfire. But the thing is, This lets you travel between the bells, and it restores like your healing stuff, and it restores your special ammo, which is not really special ammo. It's just, you know, it's fuel for your weapons. Then you got Metroidvania elements like this. You can only unlock this after you get the axe. And you got Fat Boy over there, who's the boss. I'm gonna let you guys see my first attempt on the boss, but then we're gonna move on. Because like I said, I'm doing a dedicated video on this bad boy. It's really, really good. Neo 2, when you know what you're doing, is the smoothest combat I've ever played. This is smoother. This is way smoother. Did the game run okay? The game was running pretty much silky smooth 60 on PS5 Pro. What I did notice that kind of like upset me a little bit is just the ridiculous amount of particle effects, because they're also using Unreal Engine 5, which is kind of like a theme for most of the games that I saw. And that, you know, they do abuse the particle effects quite a bit. Look at the music. Boom! Boom! So this is the special attack of the Great Sword. I was trying to power through that attack. I wasn't able to. Here I was trying to parry, but this is actually really hard to parry. Swap to dual wielding. Guard broken. Swap weapon to recover stamina. I was actually doing pretty well on my first attempt. It's the other attempts that I messed up real bad. And I missed a dodge there as well. Because you see the red glow? You need to perfect dodge that. Boom. Would you say that the combat is automated a lot? No. It's not automated at all. You have control on per attack basis. Yes, you don't just mash buttons and hope for the best. Because if you mash buttons and hope for the best, you're going to do worse than how I did here, and I'm getting my shit beat up quite a bit. Wait, what the hell did I do there? What was that? Did I do like a special counter or something? That was crazy. Oh no, I had it lined up already. Okay. I was a little bit confused at how I got that attack off. Look at this. Boom! 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 I love that attack, bro. So dead. I actually did pretty well for my attempt. But yeah, I spent like quite a bit on this boss, as you guys can see on the footage here. It's like getting rinsed over and over. It was funny because I think that the person who was watching me play, because they had like player guides around the booth, I think the person who was watching me play was kind of scared. He's going to be like, oh no, he's going to get tired of dying to this boss. Why did I let him play on Hellwalker? He didn't realize that I was having a blast. He was just like, oh no, he's going to get frustrated. This is going to be a problem. So I thought it was funny. But no, they just let me keep on playing. They were just like, "Yep, you can just keep playing for as long as you want." It's like all good, it's fine. But yeah, I thought that the visuals looked really good, except for the obscene use of particle effects. The traversal also feels really great, and there were some Castlevania elements, which is some of the stuff that I have here on my notes. And yeah, I think one of the big important things, and again, I don't know if this was just for the demo, but in this demo, whenever you go to, and by the way, the video for this is going to be really long because this is like a 90-minute play session, and I'm going to do commentary over the whole thing. So it's going to be like a really just long, chunky gameplay commentary of Phantom Blade Zero. So for this video you're interested, do make sure to subscribe to the channel because that will be a video that will be coming out at some point next week. I'll probably make a premiere of it considering how fucking big it's going to be. But yeah. This is hands down one of the best games that I saw at the show this year, okay? This is a phenomenal game. Do not sleep on Phantom Blade Zero. Like, heavily recommended by yours truly, if that means anything to you. Big recommendations. So now let me see, what did I do after that? Okay, so after that, it was the Pragmata and Onimusha, which I'm just going to show you guys. Actually, I don't know if I can show the stream itself. It's kind of weird because of the way that stuff works on when it comes to embargoes and stuff. So I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show you guys the stream. I'm just gonna show you like a still of that stream for those of you who are curious. But we did a stream with Capcom directly from second here, I'm pulling it up. Directly from the show floor.
Hopefully.
Is this the boss? Stop. Up. So this was live from Gamescom. Once again, the amazing production team that was there last year. I think it's Rocket Beans is the name of the production company, or Rocket Bean, not 100% sure. They were there. They were super cool. They were doing like all the production stuff behind the scenes. And here's a funny little anecdote. I got there early, and I was just like asking them, hey, can we please just ensure that there's like a power socket there so that I can hook up my laptop and do stuff and whatnot. And they were super cool about like just having like stuff there for me to be able to do. They were super accommodating, always ask, hey, do you need something? Do you want like a water? Do you want like super cool? Like it's like, I almost wish, can I just have this production team for myself when I'm actually streaming? Just have all of them around me the whole time, so that when I'm streaming, I can just go like, oh yes, let's switch over to scene 2. And actually, I don't even have to say anything because they just do everything, right? Like, look, they change cameras dynamically depending on who's speaking. Like, it's like, bro, I need this in my life. No, they are super cool. Like, they were absolutely phenomenal. And so what did end up happening, though, during this live stream was that the time restrictions that we had for each of the games were very small. And this is feedback that I've sent back to Capcom. And because it was the first time that I was playing any of these games and I was doing it on stream, what ended up happening is, you know, in that stream, you guys didn't get to see some of the really cool stuff like the boss fights for both of these games. But I did have capture sessions lined up for later. And so I am going to have dedicated videos for both of those games later in the channel where you guys will be able to see all of that stuff. I'm going to do commentary over that footage as well. I can show you guys a little bit of a teaser if you guys are curious. It can't be the live stream footage though. I think that the embargo doesn't allow for that. So I can show you the edited footage that I have, which I have for Onimusha here. So you guys can see a little bit behind the scenes here in Resolve. Yeah, this is the game. It's so satisfying. Look at this. Chop, chop, chop. I love this. Just like, yeah, perfect parry. And they just slice them up, carve them up in different ways. Will Onimusha have other weapons? It has other weapons, but they are mostly used as kind of like a special thing that you use before going back to the katana. That live stream was a bummer, not gonna lie. I mean, like, look, like I said, could it have been better? Probably. If I had been able to play the game before, then again, I wasn't expecting the time restrictions to be that rough. Because here's the thing. Would you rather have watched me go through the demo like this, which is after I've played the game? Because, like, in here, I went through the demo so smoothly. Like, look at me, just carving up everything. Like, this was way smoother than the streams. But why was I able to do that? Because I played the game on stream, and now I knew how to play it. So I could have played the game before, and that would have been something different, because I would have known what I was doing. I still don't know if I would have been able to make it to the boss, because 10 minutes to get to the boss of this demo in Onimusha is just very little time. Like, you have to run through enemies if you want to get to the boss in 10 minutes. You don't have time to, like, smell the roses, actually, you know, the time constraints were a little bit rough. But the game is a ton of fun, and I can't wait to give you guys the other video where I'm actually going to be talking about, like, all of the mechanics, all of that stuff about Onimusha, and there's another thing about Onimusha. Yeah, we were able to get an interview. My man Rich hooked me up, and we got to interview the devs and talk about the game. I got to ask him a whole bunch of questions about Onimusha. So those of you who are super into Onimusha, again, remember, subscribe with bell notification icon, because that will be something that will be hitting the channel a little bit later as well. So we have an interview for that. Then we also did Pragmata. Maximilian Dude was saying that this one felt a bit like you had less control over combat and cool things were just happening. No, I wouldn't say that, because, like, if you do perfect parries at a certain point, your katana charges up, and I think you get to deal extra damage. Depending on which type of souls you suck up, you gain, like, health or stamina, or whatchamacallit? Health, stamina, or the blue resource, which lets you use the special weapons. And not to mention that I think the problem with Onimusha is that the demo that they've shown doesn't really showcase all of the potential that the game has. Because there's a lot more to Onimusha than what you see in that demo. But yeah, more importantly, how is RE Engine holding up? I mean, Onimusha was running smoothly, as was Pragmata. So this is Pragmata. And you guys also saw this, but in here I do have the boss footage as well. But this is the footage that I'm going to be using in the video. It's already fully edited to adhere to the embargo requirements. But the mechanic is pretty cool. So, like, you guys can see the mechanic here. So you have to basically move this, and you move this using the faceplate buttons. So you aim at the monster using L2. That opens up the hacking interface. And you can also just shoot at the monster using right trigger, and you can dodge using, I forget if it's circle or R1. I think it's circle in this game. Or is it circle? No, it's circle in Onimusha, and it's R1 in this game. Because it gets so confusing, because, like, in Phantom Blade, dodge is R1, and Onimusha, dodge is circle, and then in here, dodge is R1. And I have to, like, format my brain to be able to cycle between all of these games at the same time. It gets a little bit confusing, right? But, So the way that it works is you're doing stuff like you aim your weapon, you're shooting the monster, doing all of that stuff, but the monster takes very little damage until you hack it. And the way that you hack it is this actually shows you here, like if you pay attention, this is a triangle, circle, X, and square. So these are the 4 faceplate buttons, and that's kind of like how you navigate through this screen. And it's like you can't go through this white one, but the objective is you get through as many of the blue nodes, and then you end on the green node. So basically going to go through, and then once you hit the green node, it opens up the enemy to take damage.
This friggin' thing is tough as hell.
See, I was dodging there, and the hack remembers the position you were in, so you can like lock off if you want to, and then you can go back to hacking mode. See, because I was like, I need to dodge. Okay, now I can actually focus on this. Boom. Then boom, 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 hacked, and now you can just blast it with the shotgun. Boom. And so you're gonna wanna be really decent at multitasking, because you have to be paying attention to what the monster is doing. You have to be paying attention to how much ammo you have. You have to be paying attention to the hacking mechanic, and you have to be actively dodging while doing the hacking. So keep that in mind. How's the hacking going to work on Xbox controller on mouse and keyboard? In the same way that it works on the PlayStation controller. So the hacking is done like you aim with left stick, which is this one. I don't know if my camera is mirrored or not, but this is my left stick on this controller. So you aim like this. When you aim like this, it's going to open up the hacking interface, and then you're going to use the faceplate buttons to navigate through the hacking interface. And at the same time, you can be moving, and you can be aiming your camera, and you can shoot. So on PC, I'm not sure what the controls are going to be, but on keyboard, it should be fine to do with any controller, and the Xbox is just going to mimic the controls of the PlayStation thing. Then there are different types of hacks, like in here, you're meant to do square, circle, square. And then there's a couple more things, because I was trying to see if I could find the other hack, because there's another hack where you're just kind of like, yeah, this one. This one's like the spinning one. Did I do it already? Okay. Which is just like you spin these things. Where is it? Oh, never mind. I don't want to show you guys the boss because I want to save that for the video. Yeah, but this one is the other hacking thing, which just kind of like spins these things. Which is again using the faceplate buttons. Hacking is always with the faceplate buttons. And then there's like modifiers that you can add into the hacking thing, which I'm trying to see if I can find. Does this one have it? Yeah. So eventually you'll be able to pick up these power-ups. And so if you go through the power-up, it uses the power-up, and that reduces the armor of this monster. So I used it here, and as you can see, it gets a little debuff, and that means you deal even more damage because you debuffed its armor. But it consumes that yellow thing, and you have limited amounts of them that you can carry on you. Do you think the hacking mechanic will keep being engaging across the length of the full game? I think it will, because it's fun. It's just fun to do. It's just the way that the combat loop of this game works. They did make it very easy for this demo because they gave you this stasis net gun, and that just lets you like shoot monsters like boop. Now you're standing still, and I can just slowly hack you and do whatever I want. They were very generous with the amount of stasis ammunition in this demo. I don't think they're going to be quite as generous in the final version of the game, but we'll see. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I really like Pragmata, and the art style and the soundtrack, friggin' phenomenal. So yeah, good stuff. And they are going to add even more mechanics. Like I said, I just showed you guys one of the power-ups, which busted their armor. I'm assuming you'll have other power-ups, and depending on the enemies that you are fighting, you're going to want to have, like, different power-ups that you're using. Read somewhere that the games on demo were intentionally set to be on journalist difficulty. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know in terms of Onimusha, because Onimusha apparently is going to have 2 difficulty settings. So there's a story mode difficulty setting, and then there is an action mode. I played it on action mode, and it didn't feel particularly hard. One of the things that definitely didn't feel hard is like when I was fighting the boss in Onimusha, he hit me quite a few times, and I never really felt like I was in danger of dying. So maybe they bumped it down. I do know that, for instance, Valor Mortis, the boss that was at the end of the Valor Mortis demo, That one was toned down significantly. Like the dude that was there told me that they went through like 5 rounds of nerfs on that boss, and it still felt reasonably challenging when it came to the to some people that were playing it. Give me a second. My son's calling me. My kid is asking me to get him a download of a metal detector for his iPad. And I was like, that doesn't work. Doesn't work. What do you mean a metal detector for your iPad? God damn it, bro. Too much of these fucking videos on YouTube, bro. I swear to God. Brain rot, dude. Just like straight up brain rotting our children, man. But anyway, yeah. That's Pragmata. Then I played Resi 9. Actually, Resi 9 was that was on Friday, but we can talk about Resi 9 now. Very, very immersive. I'll be making I'm not sure if I'm going to be making a video on this one or not, but it was very immersive. Like if you're into Resident Evil, this is some Resident Evil ass Resident Evil. Is what I can tell you. So I played it in first person, which is creepy as hell. I don't really get that scared in horror games, but the whole Jono coming up behind me when the boss was showing up was pretty crazy. It was here when Jono showed up. Like, so there's a jump scare at this door. Like, look at this. And Jono was waiting behind me when this was happening. He was just waiting because he knew what was coming next.
He's dead. We're infected.
Delicious. This is when Jono showed up and like tapped me on the shoulder.
What the fuck?
Actually, no, I don't think it was on this one. I think he tapped me on the shoulder in this one. And she came in here, he tapped me on the shoulder, and that's why I died, because I was like, Did you scream? No, I didn't scream. It's like, no, stop! I'm trying to heal myself. And I'm just like, I'm trying to go around her. She's like, nope. Nom 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 nom. Delicious. But yeah, I'm gonna like probably do a dedicated video for this one as well, talking over like the whole experience. Was pretty fun. Even though I don't really do that many horror games, like Resi 9 is looking like super solid. If you don't eat Grandma Cookie, Grandma eats you. Yeah, she might be okay. No, I don't think she made it. I don't think she made it out of that one. But yeah, that's Resi 9. And so let's see what we did after that. I think that the next one I can't talk about yet because there's like an embargo for this one. But we played this game, and it was with the creative director next to me. I was playing the game and the creative director was telling me about it. So this game is kind of like a wait, what are they calling it? Action strategy roguelite. So imagine if you had a MOBA, except it's just PvE, and it's going to have co-op for, I think, up to 3 players. So it's a PvE MOBA that's also a roguelike, because the map's going to be random every time. And you're just going through the map, hunting for, like, resources and stuff, and collecting things and getting power-ups. And you also have to defend a base because there's constant waves coming at you. I can't say much more about this one right now, but I did have fun playing it, I will say that. And one of the things that I will say is also that the gameplay that you guys see online doesn't really do it justice, because it looks slower when you're watching it, and then it looks like it's way too fast when you're playing it. I only got to play the Axe character, but I'll probably talk a little bit more about this one at a later date. Any Monster Hunter Outlander stuff? No. The Timmy booth did not include that one. But yeah, so I played this one, and then... where is it? Then I did... is it this one? Yeah. Then I played this one. So this is Cinder City, which was previously called Project LLL.
The city of Seoul has been crippled for the past 9 months, and recently bizarre life forms have been spotted.
What's the name again of that game? It's Eversiege.
Reports indicate that this incident had the potential.
The previous game was Eversiege. This game right here is Cinder City. So this is like a traditional shooter that they did here, except you have like an exosuit. Now, this game is extremely ambitious in what they're trying to do. Like, I typed down some notes because I got to see besides playing it, I got to see a presentation where the developers explain more of what their design decision was for Cinder City. And this is an MMO shooter. And apparently they're saying they're going to be able to mix the whole telling of the story with the game being an MMO as well. It plays like a third-person shooter. It's got like cover and basically it felt extremely similar to something like The Division. You guys played The Division? This kind of feels like that, except you have an exosuit. Now, one of the things that I didn't notice until much later in the demo was that if you double tap any direction, because I was playing this on mouse and keyboard, if you double tapped like D or A or anything like that, the character actually boosts sideways, which would have been a very important thing to know. And nobody in the team actually communicated that to me. So I was just playing it like a shooter and I was like, I don't get it. Why do I have this like super powered suit and I'm just like walking around? It seems like the people from GameSpot also didn't know that you can like double tap to dodge. I only realized that almost near the end or something. One of the things that I will say is that headshots feel really satisfying. Like listen to the sound when you get a headshot in this. Feels real nice, real chunky. Except these guys aren't landing headshots. Please land the headshot. Oh wow! All right, I guess I don't get to show. See, this is why I played with mouse and keyboard. Way easier to get them headshots. I was headshotting like every other guy. Let's see if he actually gets one. I was just going center mass the whole time. Peacing out. There, you heard the headshot there? It's very satisfying. You hear the headshot sound? Feels great. But again, it is basically a like, you know, a third-person shooter that we've all seen before. Are they going to show the boss at least?
Four more Russians.
No.
Prepare to fire.
They're not going to show the boss. Okay. Because there's like actual boss fights that you get to do in this, and there's like the whole story portion that you eventually get to do in this. I don't know if they showed like the airstrike, because there's also an airstrike that you can do. Looks like you're back here. Oh, there it is. Looks like you whiffed it. Oh well. But yeah, it's like, it's pretty standard third-person shooter, but the thing that surprised me was when developers were talking about this. They were saying that, like, this is not going to feel repetitive like other third-person shooters. It is going to have a story that you will be playing at the same time as other players. It is going to have a narrative that is going to be interweaving and connecting players together. Basically, they were saying all of the usual stuff when it comes to these games. Like, no, you're going to really enjoy the story. But I'm just, like, having a tough time visualizing how you do that, right? How are you going to, you know, get players to actually do the story together without necessarily forcing it on them, which usually doesn't feel good, either for players that just want to do activities or for players that are trying to do the story. So I'm not exactly sure how they're going to do it, but it seemed very ambitious in terms of how they're doing like this co-op story, because it's seamlessly weaved. It's not going to be repetitive. But then they said something that it was like, you know, as I was listening to that presentation, I was getting a little bit like, you know, that the shooting did feel good. And this actually sounds like pretty good if it's going to be fun. And then they said convenience-related business model. And I was like, ugh. You know, you're kind of like getting that half chub. You're going like, oh, yes, this might actually be kind of cool. And then they say the word convenience. And then like you just go flaccid like that. It was just like that. The second he said convenience-based, I was like, yep. It's going to be a grind. It's going to be grindy as fuck. And then they're going to sell you the convenience to be able to progress. And it's like, okay. It's like, look, I don't want to be too harsh because, like I said, the gameplay does feel good if you like these types of games. I kind of feel like the only game we've gotten like this before is The Division. So it's not like there's a million other titles like this out there. I mean, sure, chest-high walls, all of that shit, where you're just like hiding behind cover, doing your thing. Yes, there's a ton of those. But not necessarily in an MMORPG environment. I don't feel like, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just like out of touch because I usually don't tend to play these games all that much. But it was fun. I had fun while I was playing it. And when they started describing the way that the story was going to work and all of that, I was getting excited. But then when he mentioned the convenience stuff, I was like, oh, it's going to be one of those. All right. Oh yeah, there was Outriders as well. Outriders was fun. I liked Outriders. Outriders was real good. I thought that was a fun game. So yeah, it'd be good if they and the thing is, because like if you see the trailer of this game, right? Because you're seeing this character looks like giga generic and all of that. But if we actually look up Cinder City, because there was like the Gamescom trailer, I think, yeah, this official trailer, which was during Gamescom, and in here you will actually see like all of the multiplayer stuff that takes place. See, this was the ending part of the story, so I played up until this point.
Oh no! Drop your weapon or we'll shoot!
And it gets crazy. Like after this, shit goes ballistic, like through the fucking roof. Because up until this point, the game is pretty grounded. After this, it's like some Evangelion shit. Okay? After this cutscene you're seeing right here, the whole world turns into fucking Evangelion. I'm not exaggerating. If you've seen Evangelion anime, you know what I'm talking about. We're talking about like the end of Evangelion. All right? That's what you get at the end of that cutscene.
3 minutes to drop. Everyone stand by.
Oh yeah, I should probably mute this because I don't know if the music is actually like copyrighted or not. But yeah, in here you see still just the story, but now you start seeing with other players. See, and look at the characters of these other players. Right, look at this. It's a full fucking robot. And then there's another robot over there. And I think it changed even more. Like in here, you see like a woman. So your avatar becomes a female, which, by the way, like this has like a main playable character. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work in terms of like, oh yeah, because it's different characters that you get to play as throughout the story. So in here you have this female character. Then in here there's bikes. And they're running around in bikes, machine gun. Here there's a fucking vehicle. Then in here there's like a big ass raid. Look at the number of players on that last section. Like look here. And even here, there's like a bunch of players in that car. Look, there's the guy on the machine gun, and then there's actual players piloting. Like these are 2 players on the car, right? And then in here you have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then like all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's like probably 10 players over there fighting this big ass mech. There's a player on a fucking helicopter. Like, yeah, this looks pretty fucking cool. If they just hadn't said the words convenience. God, like look at this. And then like somebody's piloting big ass mechs and cars. Like, look at this fucking, this is an MMO. Like, doesn't this look fucking sick? The problem is, you know, it all depends on how hard they're going to go on that crazy business model. Because, like, you know that a lot of people in the West are going to see, like, oh, EXP potion, 200% EXP for, like, 10 hours or a week or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay. But it looked good. It played really well. It was very responsive. It had some cool abilities. Like I said, the headshots were fun. But yeah, it's just one of those things that I'm not entirely sure how it's going to pan out based on the business model. And then we played Peak. Played another really peak game. Let me show you guys. Show you guys this bad boy. Is it? There it is.
You're amazing. My word, she looks good as new.
This is another one that's going to get a full-ass video from me. We're going to be doing commentary over this whole gameplay. I thought you played Peak. No, not actual Peak. It's Crimson Desert. So I went and I played Crimson Desert. Actually got to play it twice because there was like a problem when I went there and they couldn't do capture. So I asked to come back later and do capture later, and I was able to go at like the very last slot at 7 p.m. And I went back and I did some capture on this, which is the gameplay that you guys are watching now. Like, let me just see if I can get to a combat scene. Like, this is so good. I think one of the first things that I do in this combat sequence is just straight up RKO a dude. Because I didn't do it last year, and this year I was like, no, I need to just go and just fucking RKO somebody. Because I was telling you guys that, like, this game has all these cool moves and stuff like that, and they didn't show any of that off in their latest gameplay trailer. Now check out what I did. So we get in here, these guys are fighting, doing their thing. This is going to be full open world, is my understanding. So you got your standard sword and board. Right, we're doing sword and board, blocking, kicking, killing people. Then I'm gonna go up to this guy. Boom! RKO! Out of nowhere! Look at that shit. Look at that shit again. Like, right? You're just like, yeah, I got my sword, I got my shield, and I got RKO! That's not the only thing. Like, you can just straight up yeet people. I think I yeet a couple of these guys over here. RKO out of nowhere. The double kick, the drop kick, actually. I was just like trying out the controls. Then there's this thing, which you can do like a special attack with that sheen thing on the sword. Boom! I was just like going crazy with these. It's so satisfying. Then there's also one where you can kind of like stab people. And then you can kind of like move them with the sword as you stab them. I'm still like struggling with the controls because like that's one of the things that they have to fix in this game is the control scheme. The control scheme is so hard. You guys really have no idea, okay? This is like wonky as hell to get any of these crazy moves going. To give you guys an idea, you want to know how you jump in this game? It's the fucking square button, okay? It's the square button. By the way, they actually told me the hardware that the game is running on right now. So these are PCs that have, let me see here. I have it on my notes. I got like hard copies over here, bruh. Let me just go back. Yeah, here it is. It is a 9800 X3D Ryzen processor and running on a 9070 XT at 1440p. Okay? And this is the performance that you're getting. Is what you're watching on screen right now. So the thing about this battle that we're doing here is that you're not really meant to fight in the front lines. They're just showing, like, but just look at the scope, right? Just look at the fucking scope of this battle as we ride off, right? We were here fighting all these dudes, and then suddenly I just call my horse, right? Look at the amount of people on the screen right now. We get on the horse, and, like, pay attention, okay? No transitions, no nothing. This is like fucking Dynasty Warriors level. Look at the enemies. There's more here, more over there, another skirmish up ahead. This is on their proprietary engine, okay? So it's not UE5 or anything like that. It's their own, I think it's called Abyss engine or whatever the crap. And like, here's just to give you another example about the controls, why the controls need to be, you know, they need to do something about the controls. That was one of my biggest points of feedback when I was done playing, is like, in order to pick up this thing that's in the ground here, right? Imagine how many button prompts it takes to pick up this standard that's on the ground, which is one of your objectives. You can see here, raise the banner at the Calphade Siege Armory. That's where we're at right now. We're at the Calphade Siege Armory, and we have to raise this banner. Okay, what do you feel about particle effects? I feel like they're abusing those. I told them that as well. There's too many particle effects. I don't think they're going to tone it down, though. But, so here's what you got to do. First, enter focus mode. How do you enter focus mode? R3, L3. So that's pressing down on both thumbsticks to enter focus mode. Now that you've entered focus mode, you're going to press triangle and circle. Now that you've pressed triangle and circle, you're going to mash X. Okay? You're going to mash X. And that is what's going to cause this to lift. And now that you've lifted, you're going to tap triangle. Okay? I actually tapped square because I was wondering what would happen. And so it just gets stuck there. But you're supposed to, once you press triangle, you're going to be carrying it like this. Now you're going to carry it over here. And then once you get here, you're going to plant it over there by doing L1 and triangle again. L1, you have to aim it. You have to be a little bit closer. L1, triangle, boom. And now you've planted it. It's like, give me a second, guys. Why does holding the pillar make your hands green? It's because you're using like your force powers or something, because he's got like these green force powers that he gets to use. But yeah, that's why I feel like they need to sort that out. But having said that, the game is just so much fun that I'm like, even if by the time the game releases in 2026, the controls are still this convoluted, I'm playing the fuck out of this game, bro. It's just so much fun. Like, I'm telling you guys, this game is an absolute blast. Look at this, just like RKO in the middle of fight, they're like absolutely crazy. Kick people that are on fire because of some reason. Punch people in the face, drop kick them. Use your sword, swap to a greatsword, because I do swap to a greatsword at some points in here. Like right now, I'm with a greatsword rather than a short sword. Like, see? Now it's greatsword combat, which is a little bit different, and you get different abilities with that as well. It's just so incredibly crazy complex, all the things that you can do, and that's without even involving any aerial game, because there's also aerial game, like you can jump into the air and then kick from the air, and you can do palm strikes from the air as well, and you have like these whistling arrows that drop down artillery strikes. Like, it is crazy, bro. It is crazy. No, Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield is not necessarily a set. As a matter of fact, there's a different moveset depending on whether you do regular Sword and Shield or Sword and Great Shield. That's a different thing. So, yeah, there's quite a lot of depth to it. And I don't even think I've seen all of the weapons that... Because, you know, I played Great Sword, I played Great Hammer, I played Spear, I played Sword and Shield, I played Fists... you know, wrestling moves, and I still didn't see everything because there was still like this crazy, yeah, there's also gliding, there's climbing, and there's still like this crazy elemental attack that I don't even know how to do yet. Okay, so there's quite a lot of attacks. Like, see, that's me calling in an artillery strike on that tower. Sword and Shield, too many particle effects. Yeah, there's a lot of particle effects. That is a problem. I'm hoping that they tone those down. I don't know if they will, but like I said, it is so much fun. I'm playing it regardless if they tone down the particle effects or not. But this was like the next one that I played, and this is another one of the big highlights of the show for me. I loved it last year. I loved it this year. Absolutely phenomenal. Is the magic fairly tame in this game compared to Black Desert? I do not know. Because I know that you have palm strikes, I know that you have the elemental system, but the elemental system is something that I didn't really know how to play all that much. But you also have like bow strikes that you can do in slow motion midway through a fight. So you can be like doing a fight and suddenly you go like Max Payne, slow-mo, shoot somebody in the face. That's one of the things that we did last year as well. What game is this? This is Crimson Desert, and I highly recommend you guys check it out. But yeah, we eventually survived. Like the elemental attack that I was talking about, like the person that was sitting next to me actually did it for me because he was like this. Like, you see that elemental attack right there? I don't know how to do that. I don't know what is the button input that you got to do to perform that attack. But when I saw the guy do it, I was like, that, how do I do that? And he's like, it's simple. And he tried explaining it to me, but it was just like, it was too chaotic. I didn't get it. But like, look at this. Boom. I don't know how we did that. I wish I did. The combat is so much fun. That over there was a pole hammer, but, by the way. It was kind of like Lucerne. They're calling it a great hammer, but it's basically like Lucy from Dark Souls. Bonk. Bonk, bonk, bonk. And I love the banter with the characters as well. It's so good. But yeah, Phantom Blade, Crimson Desert, Onimusha, like absolute peak, bro. Played all of this stuff, had an absolute blast.
Can you stand?
So, next up, we went ahead and we played Where is Hell Is Us. Not really, no, actually I did play this one. So what happened with Hell Is Us was I didn't really have anything booked with them. but I wanted to see a little bit more about the game. I wanted to see how things were doing. So I just, impromptu showed up at the Nacon booth, which they had like a booth in the business area. And I was like, hey, I really like your game. I played the demo. I thought it was amazing. Very interested in playing it. You guys doing presentations and stuff like that. And there was like somebody from the dev team there. And so he showed me like stuff beyond the open world. You get to see a little bit of the open world. I got to ask a couple of questions about how certain things are going to work out and all of that. If I remember correctly, there's only one. Give me a second, guys. But yeah, he showed me a little bit of the open world section. Now I believe that the game is only going to have one difficulty. They're not meant to be like a super hard Souls-like experience, even though it has Souls-like mechanics. Obviously, I got to play with 2 axes. He showed me like some of the cool abilities that you can do. I was really overpowered. My character was super overtuned for what we were doing. But it's fun. It's really fun. I'm super excited to see how this pans out. This just looks really right up my alley because of the fact that it's not going to hold your hand. But they do give you like, because they don't want players to get stuck. So there's going to be multiple ways of getting information to do your main story quest. So your main story quest, it's going to be very hard for you to get stuck, but then there's going to be a lot of other quests, side quests, that if you're not paying attention, if you're not investigating, you're going to have like a hard time if you want to do some of the side content. So then I asked the guy, okay, so let's say I do like 50% side content and I'd go through the main story. What would be the time that you guys expect for something like that? And he said like between 25 to 30 something hours is what they're expecting for, wait, was it 25? I might be confusing the numbers, but I think it was 25 to 30 hours. I might be confusing because I think I got the same answer on another game. But yeah, I think it was about that. And I was like, that's cool. Because, it doesn't need to be like super lengthy, like 200 hours. There's so many games nowadays that are trying to do the 200-hour RPG thing. And that way you can kind of like replay it if you want to see different quest lines and all of that stuff. You can kind of like figure it out. Oh, there was this thing that I didn't do last time. Let's try to figure that out and all of that. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm probably going to be streaming it blind. So I don't think I'm going to be doing any, any review content or anything like that. Because I think this will be interesting to stream blind on stream. So long as people don't fucking spoil it. Because if people start fucking spoiling it, I'm going to be really fucking mad. Lone the Hunter 75, thank you very much for becoming grossly incandescent for 28 months. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you. That's my problem with Elden Ring. Replaying it is too much of an effort. Yeah, I think that we're going to get like good value in terms of replayability when it comes to this one, like trying out different weapons, doing all of that stuff. He also showed me like some of the systems in terms of weapon customization and all of that stuff that you're going to be able to do. It looks really interesting. Like, I'm really excited for it. And this is also like a relatively small team, apparently. They started out as like a 35-person team. Now they scaled up to like 50 or something. So it's not a lot of people working on this game. And by the way, I know that a lot of people played the demo, and there were a lot of performance issues on the demo. So that was like one of the things that I instantly honed in on. I was like, hey, listen, my biggest concern about this game is that this demo ran pretty friggin' bad. Like, so bad that the cutscenes were just like stuttering messes and just like completely out of sync, like really problematic. And he was saying that like, no, that's something that the teams have been working on. So I expect it not to be an issue. The other thing was the computer was really slow in the demo. So like the opening of the computer, and that was much faster in the version of the game that he showed me. So yeah. Did Bethesda really not give us anything? I don't know. Because I wasn't able to book anything with Microsoft because I sent a bunch of emails out and nobody replied. So I went to their desk and then they were like, oh, we can show you like Planet of Lana or whatever. It was like some puzzle platform. Like, well, what I want to see is Clockwork Revolution. So yeah. The demo on Steam was running fine for me. It was running terrible for me. It was running really, really bad. So Hell Is Us has a ton of promise, but I mean, you should wait. You should wait until actual gameplay is out, and we'll see how that pans out. But I'm excited. I'm excited to jump into this one, 100%. But yeah, so I saw Hell Is Us. Let's see what was next on the schedule. So next I did a meeting that I can't really tell you guys too much about, and then I did another behind closed doors presentation. I can't tell you guys too much about that either, but I did see a couple of interesting games after that. So this one right here is one of those cozy games. This was announced. I got to see the devs do a presentation of this one.
Peaceful.
And I know that you guys are going to go like, ooh, cozy game. Don't know. But the thing about this one, the way that the dev explained it to me kind of piqued my interest a little bit. The dev just went like, okay, well, imagine you're one of the cats from Monster Hunter. And I was like, okay, one of the chef cats from Monster Hunter, and you're preparing the meals for the hunters that are going out. And that's kind of like the concept of this game. So you play this dude, Banco, he's a chef, he's a cat, and then he kind of like, you know, he farms and he gets ingredients and stuff, and then you do meals for the hunters that go out to like defend against these creatures that are coming in to attack you, and then depending on how good and how appropriate the meal is that you do, then they get like certain buffs and certain abilities, and this is like mini games for doing the meal and whatnot. And then they get like these buffs and abilities, which do they not show? Oh yeah, here we go. They show the cards that you get. You get like these decks because of the flavors that you did. And then they do like this little theater where the hunter goes out and he hunts like the creatures. And then based on the meals that you made, they get like different abilities. I thought it looked kind of interesting. I don't know. And then he comes back and like thanks you, and you're just cooking food for these hunters, and that's kind of like the whole shebang. I don't know. I thought it looked a little bit interesting. And then we also saw some Solasta 2, which this is like coming off of the hype of Baldur's Gate 3. Could be fun. Maybe we'll do another dwarf playthrough of another D&D game. See how they did this one. What do you guys think about Solasta 2? Because I think it's isn't it an early access right now or something?
Everyone look. Swimming under the bridge.
Careful, I heard something.
I believe that this is an early access right now. Solasta 1 was good. Played it twice. Seen some footage. This looked interesting with friends. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Does this have multiplayer? I don't think I asked that. Kind of wish I had. Let's see. Wait, does it have a demo? It does. I should check it out and see how it feels at a certain point. But you know, I saw some stuff about this game and I was like, this looks kind of interesting.
Chat with the critters. Perhaps we can help each other. Don't bother.
Why is like the Steam logo in there? Error occurred while playing this video. Online co-op, cross-platform multiplayer, family sharing. Looks good. I'll have to check it out. Might be another one of these that we get sucked into like BG3. What came afterwards? Oh, okay. Now there's 2 more games that I can't really talk about. So let me just start up some of the stuff that we already talked about. Eversiege, Cinder City, Bistro. This one's afterwards. Then we did Valor Mortis. So what happened with Valor Mortis is Valor Mortis got announced. And if you guys remember, we did that stream and all of that jazz, right? And in that stream, I distinctly remember making fun of somebody that said like, oh yeah, Valor Mortis is a first-person Souls-like. And I was like, come on now. Come on now. Where is it? Where is the picture? Do I not have the picture? I had the picture earlier. Oh yeah. I made fun of the term first-person Souls-like. Now I get to eat the L because it actually said first-person Souls-like. It's the FPS. It's called an FPS, but it's not first-person shooter. It's first-person Souls-like. Oh, it was so funny. But so what happened was Valor Mortis got announced at that stream, right? And so I didn't have anything booked because I didn't know that this game was coming out. And so what I do is I just look up, okay, Valor Mortis, who's the publisher for this? And it's these guys called One More Level. And I'm like, okay, do they have a booth somewhere in Gamescom? And they did. They had a booth over here in Hall 4 on the lower floor, because this is 4.2. There's also 4.1, which is one floor below this. And they were on this booth like around here on 4.1. Give me a second. I hear the kids going crazy. My kid threw his kite onto the neighbor's land. Like, bro. I'm like, I can't, bro. I fucking can't. Anyway, like I was saying, so they had a booth right here. Let me just close the door, of course. So one more level had a booth right here in 4.1. So I'm just like, just gonna try going over there. And when I went over there, they were having like a party or something. Ruri got wined and dined in 69. No, I didn't. But so they were throwing a party or something in 4.1 around here. And it's like a bunch of fucking people. Like it's so many people in there. It is crazy. So I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck am I going to find anyone that does Valor Mortis in this sea of people? So I literally just enter the party. I literally just go in there with my backpack and everything on me, just like going, just like walking around, seeing everybody. And I just randomly see somebody, they have like one of those lanyards, and it says one more level. Was it a lanyard? No, it was a t-shirt. I think he had a t-shirt. So I just go up to him and I'm like, hey, can I talk to you? Can I just, and he's like, yeah, sure. Let's step outside. So we step outside the booth and I start talking to this guy. Hey, so I saw the announcement of your game yesterday. I'm like, I'm really interested in checking it out. And I think it'd be really cool. Do you work with the team? Like, he's like, yes, I'm game director. I was like, fuck. I just casually pull the game director away from the party and ask him if I can go play the game. Oh god. And he's like, yeah, sure. And he's just like, he pulls out his schedule and he's like, tomorrow at 6. And I'm like, all right, sure, I'll come by tomorrow at 6 to play the game. It was so much fun. And so then I went back the next day, and that's what I did after whatever it was that I was showing you guys before. I'm a little bit lost because the kids keep messing shit up. Oh yeah, I saw some secret stuff I can tell you guys about. And then I went and I played Valor Mortis. I have the full gameplay here. I'm going to do full dedicated video for this one as well. So you have perfect dodging in this one, which is circle. You have parries, which let you do shit like this, which is really cool. And it actually transitions to first person really, really well. So this has some Metroidvania elements. So you need to actually unlock magic before you can go through here. But later in this video, I actually go through and I open that. And then you see some more enemies here. There's like a system wherein you can pick up these bullets, like the yellow things is bullets and the purple things is mana. And then you can use the mana to cast magic, and when you kill enemies with magic, they usually drop bullets. But then if you shoot bullets into weak points, they usually drop magic. At least that's the vibe that I got. So you kind of create like this rewarding loop of... You create this rewarding loop of, you shoot something, drops magic, use magic, drops bullets, so on and so forth. And in here, there's actually a secret boss that the dude was telling me. There's like a secret boss back here if you want to try it. I was like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. And then there's this guy over here, but he is way too tough. Because, like, he has market derangement syndrome, so he delays his stuff, makes him kind of, like, hard to predict in terms of doing perfect parries. So I just instantly got my ass kicked by this guy. And he also recovers his posture real fast. So it makes it kind of hard to try and break him. And he does a crap load of damage. But they have like some really cool mechanics in this game with that stuff. And like I said, it does translate better than what you'd think in terms of like the Souls-like mechanics and all of that. So I do think that this one will be one to keep an eye on. I went all the way and I killed the boss, which is actually this guy. I'm not going to show you the boss kill, but you guys can see us fighting the boss. Like, you see those little the little red things that were in his legs there. Oh yeah, they do the same thing as First Berserker Kazan. So if you die in a boss, they leave your souls outside. And if you fail to kill the boss, you still get souls. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And he's like, yeah, we don't want people, you know, farming to come fight the boss. That way they can just keep practicing the boss and they're still getting souls as they're fighting the boss, which is really cool. You still lose your souls when you die and you have to go in and recover them and do all of that. But I thought it was really neat. Like, you see the red things there? These are the weak spots that you want to shoot. So you shoot those weak spots, and that deals a ton of damage, really increases the boss's stagger gauge, and it drops those mana nodes that I told you about. And then if you use magic on him, he's going to drop bullets. So it's that's kind of like the thing that you want to go for. And if you're doing well in combat, you'll be great. And if you perfect parry, then you'll also get, like, you know, increased stagger. We're building up the stagger. Then we get to do like a special finisher attack. And this is the boss, by the way, that was nerfed like 5 times before people actually got to face off against it. Chunk. Beautiful. And see the perfect there also dropped some bullets. Then you shoot that, that's going to drop some mana. And at a certain point, I also burned him, which also dropped bullets, so it's really cool. I liked it. I thought it was a ton of fun. And like I said, I'm doing a full-on video for this one as well, so you can look forward to that. I'm going to be doing commentary over all of this gameplay. Then what else do we have here? Right, I have to go back to the schedule, because I think that this was the last one that we did. Oh yeah, after this we went and did the capture for Crimson Desert. Then on the next day, we did an NCSoft presentation, which caused me to go check out a different game. So the NCSoft presentation, learned a bunch of stuff about what NCSoft is working on. I kind of wish that I had gone in and checked out Guild Wars 2, but to be quite frank, I was so tired on Friday that I feel like it wouldn't have been fair to, oh yeah, let me just go watch Guild Wars 2, and then I go there and be like, oh yeah, mechanics. Yeah, so like I was so tired. I was like, no man, I wouldn't be fair to the team to go there in the state that I was in. But I really wanted to see, because like they had the Guild Wars 2 team there. And I was like, oh yeah, I miss Guild Wars 2. I haven't played Guild Wars 2 in a good long while. It would have been cool to go in and talk with some of the people of the team and have them do like a presentation. But yeah, like I said, I just didn't feel like it would have been fair, so I didn't do it. But there was a game in that NCSoft presentation that I became kind of curious, which is this one. Limit Zero Breakers. And the reasoning I became curious about this game is because they had like these, they showed during the presentation that I was doing, they showed this raid mechanic that looked almost like, they called it a hunting experience. And I was like, hunting experience? You boys know we like that. And so I went in to check it out. It's super anime. The animations are actually really good. The game crashed a bunch of times while I was there. The poor developers, they were just like, oh no. But I'm like, yeah, it's you know, it's a showcase demo. I know how it works. It's fine. But yeah, you fight this guy. I don't know why this is running like with such poor frame rate, because the game was running silky smooth. Like it crashed, yes, but it was running much smoother than the frame rate these guys are showing here. So I don't know what happened there. But yeah, it's got really cool animations, particularly when you got like these cutscenes, because their whole thing, which is what the developers said in the showcase that we got to see, was that their whole thing, they want that playing this game feels like an anime episode. That's what they want it to be like. That's kind of like what you see here in this cutscene, right? Our protagonist is yeeting these daggers at this dude to nick the blade. And now look at what happens.
俺の居場所を決めるのはお前じゃない。
He nicked the blade with the knives and then he chopped it up. Boom. Then he beat the dude. Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of Relink as well, which I loved Relink. Relink was amazing, right? So this game's called Limit Zero Breakers. Now, we couldn't really play the oh yeah, this one's good. This one's also good. This animation's really good. I'm actually gonna play this one out, but like we couldn't really play the raids, so we only got to do a little bit of gameplay. They're going to be showing the raid mechanics, I think, at a later date. So that will be something that I'll be curious to see. But there is a big downside to this game. I'll tell you guys what it is after we do this portion. Like, check this out.
わしが描いた似顔絵なのだ。お主がカイト殿などだと言い張るのなら、それを証明してみせるのだ。証明？どうして俺が？やっぱり
I don't know if my face is gonna cover it, so I'm gonna take it away.
こいつは困ったな、カイト。
はあ、ま、いいだろう。
So she's asking him to prove that he's a locksmith. And he's like, I'm only going to show this once. So yeah, I thought that it's got like some pretty funny cutscenes and shit. Like the cutscenes are really good. Unfortunately, not all of the game is voice acted, but then you get to play with this other character as well. I don't know if they're gonna do voice acting for the entire game, but there's like sections in the demo that we played that were not voice acted. Now in here you can swap characters. Thing is, the combat feels really responsive and fun. It's got like these cooldowns in the bottom here. And I was like, yeah, this feels fun. It's simple, fun, just like going through killing stuff, and then eventually get to the big raids, which are going to include more mechanics and stuff like that. The idea is for you to swap between characters midway through combat, because that also includes like attacks and stuff. It looks like they're just swapping outside of combat here. You got perfect dodging, no perfect blocking though, as far as I know. Yeah, see, like you swap mid-combo. And you can also play co-op. So now you guys are asking me, okay, Rurikhan, but you said there's going to be a downside. So the downside is the platforms of this game are Steam, iOS, and Android. So number one, mobile game. Then number two, it's a gotcha. I was like, you know, I'm playing the game and I'm having some fun and I'm talking with the person that's there and I'm like, okay, so, but how does this game work? Is it like a gotcha? Is it like, you know, third person action? And she's like, oh yeah, you acquire the catcher's Sue gotcha. And I was like, why? Why would you do this? Oh, man. Now, she did say that they don't do gacha on the weapons. You know, like Genshin, because I think Genshin, you do gacha on the character, then the weapons, then the charms, then all. And here, they're like, gacha is only for the characters. And she was telling me, like, yeah, but our gacha is not going to be like giga bad. And I was like, of course you'd say that. Of course you would say that. So I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be like, but I thought it looked really fun. I was just like, oh well. Yeah, it's a hero collector. But yeah. We'll see how it evolves. I'd actually rather this team like not go the gacha route. I think it'd be way more fun if it was something like Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which is what I really wanted. I wanted another Grand Blue Fantasy Relink because Grand Blue Fantasy Relink was exceedingly fun. I love that game. That's what I wanted. But, you know, gotcha, maybe I'll check it out when it releases. We'll see how it goes. But this is one of the games that NCSoft is betting on. During the NCSoft presentation, they told me that they showed us like 7 games that they said are like their big games. So the first game that was shown was Cinder City, which I already showed you guys. It's that third-person shooter that's got like multiplayer and story and convenience. Then they showed Time Takers, and I kind of just like dozed off during that one because it's third-person battle royale, and I put it in my notes that it was kind of like an Overwatch thing because you have like those heroes. It's got like a neat little time mechanic to it, which I'm not sure if I can show you guys. Let me just see. Time Takers. I didn't play this game. I just saw them like talk about it. Yeah, there's like a trailer here. Some of you guys likely watched
Until
this.
one day when I was stabbed. Dead. I was given a second chance in a strange
So this is the one. It looks very uninspired. But interestingly enough, it's got some interesting mechanics, which is like, because it says Time Takers, right? The way that this Battle Royale works is everybody starts with a certain amount of time. And then as you kill other players, or maybe you get like bonuses throughout the match, you're going to gain time back. And then time is used to upgrade your abilities and buy things and all of that stuff, right? But the interesting thing is you play as a team, so you go in like trios, I think. And then as you are going through, let's say one of your teammates is running out of time, then you can give them a part of your time. So there's like a time management mechanic type of thing going on, which I thought was interesting. And also you can't stack characters or weapons. So you need to choose like which role everyone's going to play and all of that stuff. And yeah, that's the way that it goes.
We were promised a
Now, let me just quickly check in on the kids because they've been maybe a little bit too quiet. And I don't know what the fuck they're doing. The other games that before we do that though, the other games that they've said is Limit Zero Breakers is another one that they're betting on big, which is the one that I showed you before. Blade and Soul Heroes, which just looked like a mobile gacha game. Ion 2, which that was running on UE5 and it was looking really rough on the presentation that they showed us in terms of like performance. It was looking real rough. And then they're doing like Realm vs. Realm, solo, 4 and 8 player dungeons. They've made like 200 of them, but you know, it is what it is. And then there was Bandit Crusaders, which is some RTS RPG from some developers in Poland. But yeah, these are the games that NCSoft is betting on big. Give me just a second. I'm going to go check on the kids. Okay. So that was the NCSoft presentation that they showed me. Now let me see. What else did we do after this? Why is this showing up? Give me the 3. Then after that, I went to watch this, which is the Enshrouded thing. Oh no, wait. This is not the one. This one was after that. We'll check this one out afterwards. Where's Enshrouded? Here it is.
I dreamt of a time.
So there's an
before
update
the
coming to
corruption
Enshrouded.
And the fight for survival. I dreamt of a shimmering home and of exile. To find peace, we must brave the deep.
So they're adding water into the game.
Here, the old gods whisper, and an ancient fury awakens. We shall purge the profane.
And they're adding great
and
swords.
Command the water to yield to our will, for there is no greater power than the flame of the faithful.
And so here's how this works, because like I got like a super in-depth demo about this. The way that this water works is pretty much the way that it works in real life. So if you know, make like a big hole, the water falls down like faster depending on how deep the hole is. You can drain lakes. So it's like it's realistic water physics simulation, because the whole world is voxel based, right? So you can like transform the whole world around you, and you can manipulate the water in so many different ways. It is absolutely crazy. They're also adding fishing into the game. So that's being added as well, which everybody always wants fishing. And it looks really polished. The stuff they're doing with water looks really polished. And you also have great swords now, which is like a new weapon. So it's looking really good. This is actually one of the more promising survival titles. Like if I was playing a survival title right now, probably be this one. It's looking really good. It was a really cool presentation. Like Minecraft? Yeah, something around like Minecraft. Except they have way better combat. Their combat's actually real good. And it's just like obviously much better visuals. They have cool art style. Like we played this when it came out, and I've just been waiting for them to like, you know, really flesh it out, because I don't want to be like experiencing every little upgrade slowly. I want to play the finished game. And now they're adding water. Although they're also going to be adding water in the other biomes, I think. But it's not going to be like massive change. It's going to be like a little small lake here and there. But yeah. But this is looking hella good. And then the last game that I checked out is this one. This is Rewilders. So this is a roguelite. It's got really neat animations. Like the way that the game animated, I was like, this game's like finished the way that this is animating so smoothly. I was very impressed with the animations. So you activate these devices and things kind of like pop up, but then they darken up again whenever you do another run. You befriend these creatures, and then as you befriend them, like, they will give you abilities that you get to go and do. It's got cool navigational tools. I think you also have a grappling hook. Yep. And you can even combo that into gliding, as you guys can see there. And then there's boss fights. Pokemon? No, not really Pokemon, because it's a roguelike. Then you have upgrades that you put on this ship that will give you like permanent upgrades. And you can upgrade like your little friends, because your friends... So right, even though this is a roguelike, when you go down there and you release certain creatures, you get to keep them, and they get to keep their levels. So say you level up your fire friend creature to level 5. When you come back up, because, you know, you died or something like that, I think your character resets, but the little fire dude doesn't. So the next dive is, you know, you're going to have a little fire dude that's going to be a little bit more potent. I thought the art style actually looks really good. But it is like more kid-friendly and all of that. And I know that some people, they prefer the more grim, realistic aspect, and this one looks different, but I dig the art style and I dig the animation. This looks like a ton of fun. But yeah, this was actually the last game that I saw. So a couple of more shenanigans that we did while at Gamescom. So we did do a live stream. We did do 2 live streams. And I know that not everybody sees stuff that happens on X, but I just want to show you guys this. Okay, so you guys see those cables? I want you to see the rinky-dinky setup that I did. See that thing over there at the very top, on top of that TV, hanging precariously about to fucking fall down? That's my phone. And that is what is providing us with internet. I put it there so that it had a higher vantage point to pick up better signal. Also away from everything. And it worked, because before I put it there, I didn't have enough signal to be able to live stream. Okay? This is the type of shenanigans that I do for you guys. Okay? So, to give you guys an idea, I was so stressed out because, like, I got to my hotel room with more than enough time to boot up the stream in time to do opening night live. Like, more than enough time. But then I got to the hotel room and I test the hotel internet, and it is dog shit. It is terrible. I'm not going to be able to live stream off of that. So then I test my phone internet. It's not much better. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. I'm so fucked. Oh, my God. This is so bad. Everything's bad. Everything's going to go wrong. How am I going to do? I'm like stressing the fuck out, trying to come up with all types of solutions that I can potentially do to make this thing work. And then eventually I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to fucking hit go live and hope that it doesn't explode. Like, that was it. That was literally it. And then I hit go live. And I'm streaming at 9,000, which I was like, 9,000 seems to be the most stable one that loses the least amount of frames. And I do the whole opening night live at 9K, and it didn't explode. And I was just like, thank God. And then I did it again the next day for Path of Exile. Like, that is crazy, dude. That is absolutely crazy. As like, I can't do Starlink, guys, because Starlink would be way too much of a pain in the ass to set up. You guys that are saying just get Starlink is like, no, you don't just carry Starlink around with you and set it up in a hotel room. Okay? I mean, I guess you could, but it's not going to be as simple as that, because usually Starlink has to be outside. You know, it actually has to be mounted outside, aiming towards the satellite. But yeah, speaking about PoE, are you going to be playing that? I want to, but the thing is, there are so many things, right? Because we have Hell Is Us, we have Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion that I also want to play, and we have Path of Exile 2, all coming out within the same week. That's not even counting the fact that Silk Song comes out at the same time, which I'm probably not going to be covering because there's just too much. But yeah, PoE 2 is next week. Yeah, I know. And so is a lot of the other stuff that I just told you guys about. It's just some are like on different days, but I think most of it happens like around the 5th. So yeah, I definitely want to jump in and do all of those things, but I don't know if I can. Not to mention that PoE goes live on the 29th, and then on the 30th, I have a Kill Team tournament that I'm going to go to. So it's like, I can do the 29th, depending on how late it launches, and I'll play the fuck out of that. And then on the 30th, I have to do the Kill Team tournament, because I want to go do a Kill Team tournament. Pricey roaming data? Yeah, I'm scared how much this is going to cost me. I'm so scared, because I actually don't know what exactly is the plan, because I didn't check what's my data plan, because usually in Portugal it's like unlimited data. I think that I have something similar for when I'm in roaming. I certainly hope so, because I must have used a fuckload of internet, dude. Must have used a fuckload of internet. But yeah, this is how I streamed while I was there. And then let me tell you about this picture. This is the most awkward shit you're going to listen in your whole fucking life. Okay? Well, maybe not the most awkward shit, because you guys probably heard some really awkward shit. But this is still pretty fucking awkward. Okay? So I have to make an admission about how this happened, which was weird. Okay? So here's how this goes. It is Friday, and I'm like dead tired, roaming the halls, waiting for my last appointment. And this is in the business area, so this is in like Fort 2, right over here. The Square Enix booth, no wait, was it Fort 2? I think it was Fort 2. So the Square Enix booth is over here. Somewhere around here. Actually, it wasn't even the Square Enix booth, because Square Enix was shacking up with Bandai Namco. So Bandai Namco had like a really big booth, and then somewhere in the Bandai Namco booth, there was a Square Enix section. So it was kind of like a split booth between Square Enix and Bandai Namco, and it was around here, right? And so I'm roaming the halls around here, because this is near the Capcom booth. And so the reason I'm roaming here is because sometimes I would run into like Jono, or I would run into, the Italian CM of Monster Hunter, Adriano, or I would run into, Capcom people that I would know because I had nothing to do and I was just like burning time. So if I would run into people here, I'd be hanging out and chatting with them while I was waiting for my next appointment, which was kind of like my goal of roaming around here. So I'm roaming the halls around here, and I'm eating a sandwich because it was like I was starving. So I'm eating a sandwich. And I see Yoshi P passing by me in this direction. And I think to myself, man, why did I have to be eating a sandwich right now? I could totally just have gotten a picture with Yoshi P. That would have been really cool. And I'm like, oh, well, I fucked it up. And then I started thinking, okay, so wait a minute. Yoshi P passed through me, and he's likely going to the Square Enix booth. Let me just make sure that he's going to the Square Enix booth, because I was curious where he was going. So I'm not stalking him, okay? But I'm just seeing, like, maybe if I can finish my sandwich real fast, I can still run up there and try to get a picture. So then I look at the hall, and I'm like, I can't see him anymore. Now, there's a lot of people there, but I can usually, like, spot, because I profiled his clothes, and I was like, okay, I can identify him from the back because I see the way that he's dressed. And I'm looking at him like, I don't see him. So then I start thinking, okay, he's going this way towards the Square Enix thing, but the bathroom's in the way. So maybe he went to the bathroom before he's going to the Square Enix thing. So I move ahead of the bathroom. In hopes that he's going to pass me again. But I was still not done with my sandwich when he passes by again. But I'm still like, fuck it. Hey, can I get a picture? Like a sandwich in my hand. And then I put my sandwich like between my knees to like hold it so that I can hold the phone and take a selfie. And that's so like, in this picture, I'm holding a sandwich between my knees. But he was super chill. It was super chill. It was super nice. Like, didn't complain, no nothing, just like... And I was kind of like... When I was aiming the camera, like, fuck, the Ubisoft booth is behind us. This is so weird. It's so fucking weird. And this is like cropped because like the picture is like super badly centered, is fucking terrible. Oh, but it was funny. But he was super chill. But yeah, people were asking me, "Oh, did you get to talk to him? Did you tell him how you feel about Don?" It's like you don't get like usually you don't just stop a dev and then just like strike up a conversation unless it's someone that you know. So it's like most of them are okay with you like stopping them for a picture or something, like if they're chill, which Yoshi P was super chill. But if you like stop them and try to engage in conversation, it gets really fucking awkward. So I took my picture and he went away. But yeah, you don't just like strike up a conversation out of nowhere, because usually these guys are super busy. They have like stuff to do and places to go. You ambush him in the toilets, then he can't escape. I didn't ambush him. I didn't even go inside the bathroom. I waited outside, further ahead, expecting him to pass me by on the way to the Square Enix booth. It was weird. I will say it was a little bit weird, but you know, I wanted to get a picture with Yoshi P. Camping. The Dr. Disrespect playbook. Just ambushing people on the fucking bathroom. Oh man. Gonna have to explain this to Yoshi if you ever interview him. I highly doubt that's gonna happen. Listen, I don't know why. I legitimately don't know why. But Square Enix doesn't like me. I don't know why that is. I don't think I've ever done anything wrong, but they don't like me. And it's fine. That's fine. Nobody has to like me. You don't have to. But and I'm saying this because like I tried so many times to literally meet up any of their PR people. I've tried so many times, and usually I always end up getting the runaround somehow, to the point where I'm just like, okay, look, it's fine. Okay. When Psycho Cat was there, it was super easy to get a hold of Square Enix. Because when Psycho Cat was there, she would always, talk to me, hook me up with stuff that I wanted and stuff like that. Ever since Psycho Cat left, it's like nobody in there wants to talk with me. I don't know what it is, but, at this point, I'm kind of like over it. Mr. Square Enix don't dislike the Portuguese, man. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. But, it's okay. It's fine. Not the end of the world. I like how Yoshi P acts like he's the fan of the picture. He probably doesn't even know who I am. I don't know why he did that pose. I highly doubt he knows who I am. There's no reason this man would know who I am, so I don't know. Maybe it's related to Capcom rather. Why would Capcom liking me be an impediment to Square Enix liking me? They're literally doing a collab. They're literally doing a collab with Omega. Maybe he thought I'm Xeno. He knows Xeno. Of course I'm not Xeno. What do you mean? Xeno doesn't have a hat? Yeah, he's probably just being nice. I highly doubt he knows who I am. He just saw the hat and he's probably like, oh yeah, let me just point and do the thing. It was just really cool. He was just like super chill, super accommodating, and I super appreciate the fact that he stopped. That it's cool. Ruri, you're Capcom's bitch, and you don't steal other people's bitches. Yes, I'm the Capcom shill. That's me. You're both bald, though. It's a fucking lie. I got hair. Look. Right there. Right fucking there. Look. I got it. I got hair. Okay? See? Right there. Right there. It is what it is. Squints. Yeah. Whatever. Okay? You guys are evil. Friggin' evil. Anyway, y'all got any questions you want to ask me? Because I gotta go work on a lot of these videos, man. I got a lot of work to do getting these videos done for you guys. So I need to go back to work. This was just fun stream times, you know what I'm saying? Now I gotta get back to work. Unless you guys have any questions. Oh yeah, also I gotta do Longbeard shoutouts. Chris Marks. Bam 0141. Victor, just Victor. I remembered. Just Victor. Mizzen Jamal, James Cheek 7507, Nerodia, AR0474, Hidden Aussie, Quirin Das, Travis, Gregory K, Saphirian, The Bug Shaker, Golfa Fajifaju, Fidel Varela, Astron RH, Angie, Dr. Eisenhower, Sephiroth, Sangetsu, Roy Soulmane, Star Kitsune, Mr. Wipeout, Eugenie, Inquisitor Reed, Jojo Mojo 1512, Ediero, D. Luffy, Killerex 316, Draxus K, El Renatos, J. Walco 4, Inazuma, Senior Bacon, Sam Castellan, Devin Widener, Sherlock Para, Figster, Cold Brick, Red Pigbank, Rambo the Nerd, Angry Scott's Dead 23, Robert 396, Shelby Neko. Thank you very much for being grossly incandescent as Longbeards, you Giga Chads. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Overall, how would you describe your experience at the event? It's energizing. Like, it's very rough, but it's very energizing. And I think I kind of want to see if I can do it every year moving forward. Because, like, if you go to, like, some of these presentations where the devs are super passionate about the game they're working on, it's just so refreshing to see it. Like, for instance, when I played Eversiege, which is like one of the smaller like games that I played while I was there. And I was playing next to the creative director, who was like super nice, super excited about showing his game. And it's just like, you know how a lot of the times when you're looking at YouTube videos and it's just like, ugh, the gaming industry is dying. Everything is so fucking bad. Ugh. It's like all the negativity just like kind of burrows into you. And just seeing somebody who's just really passionate about their game, like with the Eversiege creative director, he was just like super excited to show this game that he had been working on, this Dota PvE like experience, right? And he was super excited because apparently I made it farther than a lot of the other people that he was showing the thing to, or maybe he was just saying that to make me feel good. I don't fucking know. I highly doubt it, but whatever. But, you know, he was just like super excited to see the way that I was tackling the game that he's been working on. And it's just that type of passion is inspiring. It's cool. It's cool to see the positive side of video games. Like when I talked to the developer from Hell Is Us, he was like just super excited about, oh, this is the game. And me and my little small team, we've been working on this. And it's just like, we're really excited about this and partnership that we got going here and all of this stuff. And it's really cool. And then I was talking to like the devs during the interview for Onimusha, and it's just like most of the time they're just both like smiling and stuff and just like having a blast. Like they're like, we're just chit chatting, having a blast, and they're like super passionate about the game that they're working on, and it's just like really, it's just really fun and reinvigorating to kind of like, you know, get that vibe going and actually feel people that are excited about the games that they're presenting, rather than like, you know, you go on the YouTube and it's like, it's all fucking doom and gloom, everything's bad, everything's fucking terrible, we hate everything. Like we get the announcement of Omega, and I'm super excited about Omega, and there's just like fucking hundreds of people in the comment sections and on X just being like, it's a fucking robot, goddamn clanker in my Monster Hunter game, I don't want it. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, bro. It's literally free content of one of the best 14 raids, man. Like, what do you mean? You're gonna play Lost Soul Aside? Oh yeah, that's another one that's coming out like at the end of the month, right? I want to. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be one of the things that that was really cool for me at the event. The music in Hell Is Us is friggin' goated. Yeah. Why'd you leave audio scrubbing on? Doesn't it drive you? It doesn't drive me insane. It's fine. I don't understand the hate for Omega. I don't understand the hate for Omega either. I don't get it. But you know, it is what it is. Some people don't like robots. It's whatever. It's okay if people don't like it. Not everybody has to like it. But you know, there is definitely like a lot of hatred going on in Monster Hunter right now, and I wish I could tell you guys more about that. I can't, but you know, it just kind of sucks. It just kind of sucks is all I'm gonna say. But yeah, how's this canon? It's from Final Fantasy. Literal dimension traveling robot. Literal dimension traveling entity that purposefully seeks out strong challenges, kind of like Goku. Was there a booth from where winds meet? I don't know who the public. Oh wait, it's NetEase. Yeah, there was a NetEase booth. I don't know if they were doing where winds meet, but there was a NetEase booth. I think they were shacking up with Konami, actually. I don't know if there were or not. I could be wrong. But I do remember seeing the NetEase booth, but I never went anywhere close to it. If I had known that Where Winds Meet is published by NetEase, I might have gone in there. Sorry. Hey, can I check out Where Winds Meet? You fucking skin job company? Can I go see? Can I go see this other game you guys made? Oh man. Black Myth Zong Kui doesn't have it. No. There was nothing. There was nothing there for that game. There was nothing there for that game. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for the stream. I'm gonna go work on more videos for you guys, but for now, that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.